Hello everyone, Professor Prinny here, and today, like I said yesterday, I'll be streaming something I haven't really streamed before, and that's that's a mobile game, and it's Arknights. Recently, I've been encouraged to play the game again, mostly from my trip from into London Comic Con a week ago. Uh, Yeah, let me get the game window up real quick. There we go. Yes, that's right. I'll be playing Arknights again. I'm a returning player. I have been playing again for the last week or so, but I haven't really touched on like all the new things that have come up since I last played the game. And just for reference, the last time I touched the game before I started playing this game again, playing Arknights again, was a bit before Bagpipes release. So yeah, if you see any characters that came out much after release, yeah, I did some pulls on Horn to try and get her, and well, I succeeded on that front. So yeah, the main reason why I'm doing this is because yeah, I've already mentioned already. I've been encouraged to do so. Got to share some of my experience with some of the con goers at London Comic Con. In particular, this cosplayer over here who cosplayed the Doctor. I met him during the con. Apparently, he was like this was on the Friday. And so, yeah, you could say the Doctor convinced me to go back to Rhodes Island and so and all of that. And yeah, the friend I was with also plays Arknights, so they've also encouraged me to go back on this. And well, here I am, about a week in returning, and now basically I returned at a good time for the current event, didn't I? Alright, let's just jump in now. Do. Oh gosh, that's a lot of stuff on the left. Alright, free 10 pull from the looks of it. A lot of dailies. What is this? Check details. Let's see. To mine, use the beacon launcher to deploy beacon in the mining area. Location marked by the beacon will be available for mining. And stuff costs gives a rundum, I think. Alright, what does this do? Or 500 a rundum. Okay, I'll take that. I could always use more a rundum. Alright, some outfits. Oh yeah, Spectre the Unchained. I have no idea how good she is, if at all. Don't know if I should even bother pulling her. And yeah, as you can see, it's been a week since I returned. And I've already completed all the comeback missions, well, apart from these daily ones here, which I should probably do since these are some tier 3 mats I'm quite low on. Alright, what's in the store? Oh yeah, I'm really tempted to get the 6-star pick ticket at some point. Because I've got a few Google Play points to spend, and well, I've already spent it on the Arknights £8 voucher, so I I want to use that on something at least. Anyways, while we're here, let's go do some pulls. Right, who do we get on our free pull? It's Grey. Okay, don't care. And what do we get with our 10 pull? Let's have a look. Oh, hello. We got a 6-star. Alright, Windflit, Ansel. Oh, and here's the 6-star. Is it Skadi? Well, Spectre even. Wow, I actually got her. Okay. Well, okay, I don't need to bother pulling in this banner anymore, at least. Oh, is there another one going on? Oh yeah, this one. I've already pulled once on it. I don't need to do that again. Right, let's sort out these tags as well. Right, let me just get the tag calculator up. Whoops, nope. Alright, who's the fast redeploy? Gravel. That's fine, that's just more certificates to get from her token. Alright, what do we have? Vanguard ranged, healing, starter, shift. So I might go for shift on that one. Oh, this one's pretty meh. Let's go refresh again. No, nothing good. Oh well. Alright, first one. Let's see, we've got Vanguard ranged, healing, starter, and shift. I think I'll just go with shift. Let's see, and this time caster, Vanguard, melee, ranged, and AoE. Let's go with melee AoE. Oh wait, this one I might take the starter tag, because there is some starter 2 stars I still yet to max out their potentials. Let's have a look. Let's see, guard, melee, medic, starter, and survival. Yeah, I think the only ones left I need to max potential are Yato, 12F, and Rangers, if I remember correctly. Oops. Okay, no, it's just 12F and Yato, so I can go... Oops, it was not this one, it was this one. Starter... Well, I think I've got 50-50 if I go melee starter, because I'll either get Noir Corn or Yato that way. Anyways, well, if I get both tags to trigger anyway. And then, let's see, Sniper, Medic... Supporter, ranged, defense. Let's see, any good ones we can go for? I guess just supporter, really. Alright, and I'll leave that alone for now. Go buy the stuff I need from the credit store. And oh, I've got enough for all of this, so I might as well pay with parts. I've got the parts to spend. Let's see, and outfits. Oh, that Live 2D Skadi is quite nice. Forerunner I don't really use, I'll skip on that. Polar Catcher, that's a nice one, but I don't know if I'm going to use her that much. W I don't have, so I'm not going to bother. There was one that was interesting me. What was it again? I think it was a Vigna one. Oh yeah, there it is. I definitely like this one, so I'm going to go for it. I don't think I do have a skin on Vigna right now either, so... And not only that, this looks a lot like Elizabeth from Fate Grand Order. I might get the Ifrit one because if I get the Originite Primes for it. Although I'm pretty okay with her default E2. Ooh, the Hoshiguma one looks nice. And I do use Hoshiguma every now and again. Silver Ash, I'm okay with his regular outfit. Texas I don't really use. Sora I don't really use. Silence I do use, but I think I'm okay with her E2. Oh, I might get the Cliffheart one though. I don't use her that often, but if I ever need to go shift pulling, then she's usually the one I use. Oh, and why the heck is my character stuttering so much? Okay, give me a moment here. Alright, you know what? Let's unplug my camera and plug it in again. Alright, hopefully this is a lot better. Oh, it's not even... Oh, no, there we go. Well, it's got my voice, but it doesn't have my camera movements. Oh dear, it looks like I'm gonna need a new webcam at this rate. Because this issue happens every now and again. Okay, there we go. Much better, much better. Man, there's a lot of camo skins available. Anyways, that's all from the store for now. Let's look elsewhere. Alright, what's the other important one? Main story stage, so not the event one. I'll pick up the stamina in a bit because we're gonna jump into the events first. Anyways, next up, into the base. Oh my goodness, lots of people fatigued, so no. Oh hey, and there's my Ifyal at Mastery 3 for her Skill 3. Oh, wait a moment, let's get the trust for all the operators. Alright, I don't know who to get to Mastery 3 next. Ifrit is pretty tempting, actually, because I've been using her quite a lot recently, in this last week or so. Okay, and yeah, I am working on her skill 2. Oh, I don't even have materials. Oh well. Anyways, let me put someone else here so we can build up trust with them. Aurora, you're a new character I've gotten recently, so we'll just plop you in there. I might as well plop someone else here other than Ifrit. Someone who I still need to build trust with. Cliff Hearts. Alright, let's grab these clues over here. Alright, we'll swap these two out first. Number 1. I always... let's go with May and Firewatch. Or else the power plants. Alright, we'll just put all the robots that we have. Alright, orders. Let's also plop in Melantha. Right, for the bottom one. I'll just throw in Silver Ash and Croissant. And we've got more fatigued operators. And finally the office as well. Okay, some of these guys are about to drop, so might as well throw them into the dormitory while we have the chance. Oh, these two are fine. Let's leave them alone. Actually, I might take them out early. Put back spots and Oh, what's click do? Morale reduce consumption when making battle records. Nah, not in dire need of that at the moment. Anyways, that's enough from the base. Actually, wait, no. While people are still recovering, let me make use of the workshop right now. And Irene, let's have you making... What do I need out of all of these? I know I need a few bipolar nanoflakes for something. Forgot what it was I was thinking of. No, I'll think about it later. Alright, there's a few more cleared. Just need to do the main story stages one, and honestly I might as well get that out of the way. I'm pretty sure there's like more than enough sanity to completely clear out the Sultifera Navis shop. Let's just go do a cheaper one. Right, which one's the Aura Rock stage that's usually farmed? Is it here? No. Oh wait, no, it was in episode 5, was it not? Was it 1-7? Yes, it was 1-7. Okay. We'll just get this out of the way. Alright, I'll just have it on auto, and then that'll be it. And then that'll pretty much be my last returning daily, at least, as far as I'm aware. I guess I could have worked on some characters' module requirements at some point. Instead, that would probably have been more helpful. Because I haven't actually unlocked any modules yet, and I don't know which one I should start with either. Alright, that's the daily done. And now we can jump into the event. Right, Sultifera Navis. That's a very elaborate lighthouse. Although this is very pretty, especially like it's like the first thing you see starting this event. I don't remember. Did they have anything like this in the events before Bagpipes release? Oh, and there's Spectre. Right, well, so far I have no idea what's going on. Oh, that's Skadi as well. Oh, this is some sort of Abyssal Hunters story, event story. Okay, right, so we've got stuff at the left. Right. Earn 50% more trust during this event, so I might as well start using Spectre then. How much can I level her up right now? Where is she? Spectre the Unchained. Alright, can I get her to E1? Almost. Almost. Okay, no. I am not gonna spend too much. What's this? Alternate operator task? What is this? Okay, you get a bunch of stuff from... And honestly, material-wise, not too bad, at least from the looks of things. Okay, can I get Spectre to E1? No, because I don't have any guard chips. Goody. Wonderful. Alright, well, I might as well throw her into my team, even she won't be contributing that much right now. Alright, mission 1, entering Grand Faro. This road has already become scantily travelled. Nobody cares about the stories that once unfolded here. Nobody remains to record them. Silence falls upon all equally, bringing the same quietude. Only the street sign marks these memories, roughly engraved with the name of this small town, Grand Faro. Right, tag map added to inventory. Oh my goodness, there's a lot of menus. Anyways, where are we? He threw a question into the ancient bottomless well and received an answer in return. Alright, observe. Terra, the land these lands, the nations across the world. These terms and the language around them flow in widespread use only because of how narrow they actually are. Has there ever been some majestic language of the ancient past that could describe everything between heaven and earth, where we put into words the everything we might encounter in our day-to-day lives? A grandiose term encompassing the earth, the sky, and even the seas of which the land-bound nations know so little. A single word to narrate millennia of life's progress? Where among the collective mind of mankind is such a word, Calcit? This kind of looks like Heligar. Is it Heligar? I'm sure you know the answer yourself. I know quite a bit myself. Yet I still find myself asking day after day. No man may truly escape the unknown, and the unknown will forever torment mankind. Oh yeah, Calcit is one of the operators I'm considering getting from the pick ticket when I get around to getting it. It's either Calcit or Bagpipe. I am not too sure of which one of those two. Ancient Sarkas language. Alma. World. And here I thought you would go with the Sargonian word, alam. The same idea, I think. Yours was a Sarkas language? It was. Strange. You're a feline who calls herself a doctor, yet your first instinct is to use the devil's tongue. Your identity is like the ever-changing clouds above the sea, never content to remain the same. Language will not change its essence for such trifles. Language, Now look here, Calcit. A well. It's a very rectangular well, surprisingly. Do you know how to draw water from it? Do you know how the Iberians used these blue cornerstones to build their houses? If the Iberian nobility hadn't let their pride go to their heads, the ocean would surely have been made the nation an impenetrable fortress. The well is deep, and we're very close to the shore. Look, it hasn't yet dried up. There is a false sun inside. We should be on our way, sir. The elderly man does not answer her. He simply picks up a small rock in silence. The rock could not be more commonplace, with no particular reason to fiddle with. Yet, as though absorbed in the sensation of the sea breeze on his skin, he continues to gaze at the bottom of the well. Calcit doesn't push the issue. She silently waits for the man in front of her to answer. She sees that the clouds are moving. The winds are strong. There is no rush, Calcit. There is no rush. We have ample time for rest, no matter the arrangements you've made. If I dropped this rock into the well, how long would it take for us to hear the splash? About 5 to 6 seconds. Even the most simple Iberian knows how to make use of the sea, knowledge that went into this deep coastal well. And yet, a Victorian farmer or Colombian worker might not even know what the vast sea looks like. Calcit, how many questions have I asked you on our journey so far? The old man holds out his arm out, the rock still in his palm. Then he lets go, sending it tumbling downward. Despite its rapid descent, the two of them lock their eyes onto it. Yet without adequate sunlight, they soon find themselves unable to follow its trek into the depths. It has been 2, perhaps 3 seconds. Nothing but silence shrouds the two of them. Even the wind has come to a halt. How quiet, Calcit thinks to herself. How quiet indeed. The quiet sound echoes through the well's walls, as though reminding them that in that brief moment, lasting but a few seconds, all the lands are still. 123, quite a bewitching number. 123 questions over 123 years. The Inquisition boasts not a single Inquisitor older than me. Most have died in battle, a few of old age, and even fewer gave in to cowardice during their endless ordeal. It did not end very well for them. I've experienced all there is of Iberia. I've seen its fleets setting sail, and heard the Victorian envoys quivering. It was a rude awakening when the profound silence destroyed our nation. My countrymen are still drowning in their hatred for the disaster, and confused over the loss of their dream. Liberi don't live long lives. Even the Liberi elders, the oldest and healthiest of them, are unable to shoulder Iberia's present calamity. Your age is a miracle, one forged by the Inquisition, and which also grants you an unprecedented sense of devotion. In that era, when both glory and ideology began to crumble, you and the earliest Inquisition members were revered as saints. Saints, a title for those who once served as a guiding beacon for mankind, but just like firewood, it's become nothing but ashes. I've watched the seasons cycle by a full 123 times, yet it seems only the cold winters have left their mark on me. I've seen so many truths with my own eyes, yet can never recall the sight of spring. Kaltzit. Yes? The look in the old man's eyes changes. Faith is a language, and prayers can pave roads. At this very moment, the nation of Iberia, or perhaps an existence beyond that, is caressing its chin, examining the wind speed. So far, I've lived 123 years. I've asked you 123 questions, based on my personal experiences. Nonetheless, you answered each and every one. You know everything that I know. Man is making progress, and new secrets will forever emerge, yet our knowledge will never be able to overcome that wall we call the known. Regardless, the enemy we face belongs to the other side of that wall, in the dark forest that lies beyond. And you, Kaltzit, do you belong to our side of the wall, or to the depths of that forest? That is up to you. Oh, you might even know the number of leaves on its trees. What a terrifying woman. Make no mistake, the saints of Iberia remain the pinnacle that humanity can reach. Yet you've exceeded that, marking you as inhuman. Perhaps you've extended your life with special arts. Perhaps you've inherited some kind of ancient identity. Or perhaps you possess a soul that had great ambitions. Even if our faith is only a lie built atop ideology, we nevertheless once held onto it firmly. What is truly saddening, though, is that when old age finally bests us all, we will not have yet managed to solve our problems. While those of us who have bested old age via originium arts or other means, we only come to fear endless suffering at the hands of our enemies. When did Ager become such an unknown terror to Iberia? How could an unarmed child so easily accept the help of a stranger brandishing a weapon? What if that child were about to drown? Then we would still require proof. Is Aegir's current situation really as you say? Can the Seaborn and their source truly be defeated? If you cannot back up these claims, then Iberia will not trust you. I will not trust you. Before I die, you must prove it to Iberia. Otherwise, the seawater will quench the flames of civilization. Before the other nations can prepare, they will swarm past Iberia and tear this world apart. Perhaps this too, the refutation of Terran civilization, is itself a part of their survival of the fittest mindset. Or perhaps there is nothing inherently different between us and them. A seaside town, huh? Relaxed but gloomy. Quiet but bustling. A lively place, but with danger and mystery around every corner. Just the place to get us in that creative groove. What do you girls say? Riffs lightheartedly. Ding. The shore's got an unsettling vibe. I can already smell all that stuff I'd rather not. I really don't think we should be visiting the waterfront so carelessly. Does it matter if we can find inspiration? Come on, look how fired up about it Dan is. Riffs depressingly. Diddling. Time to find our muse. Right, it's a good chance. I can't believe we're actually looking to that messed up ocean for inspiration now. Yeah, which is exactly why it's a fresh new vibe. Took the words out of my mouth. Riffs in agreement. I don't even know what sound to make for that one. Well, should we split up then? I can take our luggage to the hotel on my own. Alright, I'll be checking stuff out over there. All by yourself? I'm glad someone's worrying. Just don't forget we're playing with fire here. So where's the hotel? That reminds me, how did a small town like this get itself a hotel anyway? Do people even come here? They need to make a living somehow. Right, no living, no music. Riffs. Ling. The sea. We're back. Excuse me, can I get past? Oh, sure, it's no problem. Have you been sitting in the chapel again, Mr. Elysium? Sorry, we've even run into each other several times already. Don't worry about it, the name Elysium isn't very common here. Actually, someone as smoking hot as me has got to be a rare sight in Iberia to begin with, right? I don't know about that, but someone as confident as you, maybe. Right. It took spending some time here to realize that the place that I always called home doesn't really feel like home. Are you still waiting for someone here, Mr. Elysium? It's already been several days, hasn't it? Not like I have a choice. That's just how things are in my line of work. Besides, I'd rather hang out in comfort here than in that primeval forest infested with bugs and originium. You're from outside, then? Oh, you can tell? Is it because of the vibe I give off? Actually, I guess you could say that. What do you mean? Like the way you dress? You know your stuff. Grand Faro doesn't see a lot of visitors. There's not a lot of folks here, so everyone in town knows everyone else. Besides, with how close to the sea we are, not a lot of liberi are willing to talk to Aegir these days. Especially after the Inquisition started showing up more often. Right. I get you. I've been through similar stuff plenty of times. Does this happen in other Iberian cities too? Like in those prosperous ones I hear about in the rumors? Not just in Iberia, kid. The way I see it, it's pretty much the same no matter where you go. Life's tough everywhere. But I gotta say, some of the Aegirs I've met are a real handful. Just thinking about them gives me a headache. Wish I could beam all of my common sense straight into their brains. Which makes you pretty easy to get along with by comparison. Okay, now that's a face asking who'd ever want the common sense of a guy like me. No, it's not. Sure, I look like an unemployed bum lazing around about here 24/7, but I've actually come a long way, and been through way too much. So, you're an explorer then? What's life like for the Aegir in other places? Not too bad. Not too bad. Man, there's a lot of cutscenes to go through. Mayor Thiago, you needn't come here every day. I've been hearing some bad rumors lately. I'm worried about you guys and Maya. Bad rumors? You mean about the cultists? But we're not just close to the sea, we're close to the Inquisition too, and the very heart of Iberia. So how could there possibly be cultists around here? Who knows? Happens all the time in coastal towns though. Hardly peculiar at all. Also, I heard someone saw a monster on the shore. Did old Pedri tell you that? You know the kind of nonsense he goes on about when he hasn't had his drink. You're a kind man, Thiago. I'm sure you're just worried about Geordie, the boy who works at the chapel. I'm not very sophisticated one, though. Maybe you can put me at ease, help me sleep better at night. These rumors are just rumors, right? The ghost ship, the cultists, the sea monsters. The Inquisition hasn't let us go out to sea in a long, long time. Right, can't even remember how long. 84 years? 85? Try 56. The profound silence happened in 1038. Have you really been trapped on land for so long in your memories? You aren't even that old. Have you been a prisoner of this place since before you were born? If living in poverty counts as imprisonment, then yes. I've been a prisoner for a long, long time. I haven't so much as looked at the sea since Marin died. I loathe it. But you're not worried about the gossip, are you? You're worried about the Inquisition, and even more so about the penal battalion coming here to take away all the eye gears. Poor Thiago. The Inquisition snuffed out the love of your life, an Aegir woman. Your anger and resentment is perfectly understandable, but be careful of what you say, for everyone's sake. Maybe you're right. Okay, I'll be careful. You always know more than the rest of us anyway, so what have you been up to lately? The same old. Doing my job as a third-rate translator in this frighteningly laid-back seaside town. That said, it's been months since a messenger stopped by. All my drafts have been piling up and it's giving me a headache. Translation. I've never even set foot outside this small town my whole life. Anything besides Iberian may as well be gibberish to me. It's getting late. Right, Geordie should be off work soon. I only hope that the Inquisition isn't gonna give the lad any trouble over that gossip than these next few days. I'll see you later. Be safe, Mayor Thiago. Cultists, The young woman named Amaya ponders for a moment before turning her mind back to the papers as always. Ursine novels, Casimirian biographies, Lathanian poetry, even Sargonian folk tales. All the lands of terror lie before her as a thick pile of literature, each word waiting to be deciphered in a solemn, orderly manner. The air is extraordinarily humid. She can't help but pinch at the corner of the page. The sensation of the sea. The waves continue to accelerate, and the winds are frightened. The corals line the sky, painting it a neon shade. We will come to detest ourselves for not having wings. Are you finished with your work? Yes. As you can see, the chapel doesn't see a lot of visitors. I mostly just keep the place tidy. Are you still waiting today? Yeah, they should have been here by last week, but my superior did warn me that they're a weird bunch, so I guess being late is normal enough. Still, it's hard to call that a good thing. But why would anyone choose to meet up in Grand Faro of all places? Strange, right? I thought so too. That's why I volunteered for the job when Misery brought it up. Not that I expected to waste a whole month here. That's a hell of a long time to be on standby. But normally the Inquisition wouldn't have let outsiders like you in at all. Because of how close it is to their command center? Or because it's close to the sea? Maybe both. I see. So how did you make it here? I haven't travelled much, but even I can tell that Grand Faro is a backwater. If you really want to know, I could use someone to chat with. I'm dying of boredom over here. Then if it's not too much trouble... Oh. Sorry, I didn't realize it was so late. Uncle Thiago is waiting. I should head back to make dinner. Family? Something like that. He's the one who raised me. Look, you don't have to be such a doormat just because you're an Aegir. When someone's kind to you, try to be more positive. Thanks, Mr. Elysium. Grand Faro. It means the Great Lighthouse in an ancient Iberian tongue. Okay, so that's why there was a lighthouse earlier in the video. Lighthouses once shone upon ships both large and small, and served as homes for all seamen to return to. Many souls dwelled beneath the reefs until the ships fell in love with the ocean, accepting its embrace and facing their own destruction. Amaya? Where is she going? Some sort of commotion up ahead? That's unusual. What's going on? Where are you heading? The chapel. Peeps here shouldn't be using their hands to pray. They should learn to drum instead. This square is the center of town. Everything's built around it. A sculpture of a lighthouse. A guiding landmark to the sea and the town. What a lame analogy. What a bunch of weirdos. Let's not get too close. Did an old Pedri mention something like this before? Don't get involved, lest the Inquisition take you away. Sheesh, why are there all these outsiders lately? The Inquisition just doesn't care anymore, huh? I haven't seen any of them before. Look at the way they're dressed. Are they musicians? Is she looking at me? Hello? In the past, I wouldn't have batted an eye seeing an Aegir near the coast, but it so sure is a rare sight these days. Do you know what's going on here? What? Oh, you wouldn't, huh? You aren't a child of the sea. You're land-born. Not that's much of a surprise. Jeez. Hiya, over here. Coming. Oh, right. You... is something the matter? Do you know what that sculpture is of? And do all the locals know? Yes, it's a lighthouse. Apparently they needed a lot of people to work on it way back when, and many of the workers' families ended up staying here. Like yours? Yes. I still keep some relics from that era back home, like blueprints and pictures. Yep. Lighthouses, Iberian lighthouses, in a country on the land. That's kind of funny. Anyway, the scent doesn't seem to be coming from you. Alright then, you be extra careful. I've never seen those people. Are those instruments? Maybe they're the ones Mr. Elysium has been waiting for. Geordie. Oh, Uncle Thiago. Sorry, I should have come back sooner. Don't you get involved with them. I didn't see ears or tails, and no feathers either. They might be Aegirs. Geordie, my boy, you know I don't have anything against the Aegir, but remember what everyone's been saying lately. Don't get too involved with those outsiders. If you see an Aegir near the sea and there's no one from the Inquisition or Penal Battalion around, then they gotta be trouble. I don't think they're bad people, but the Inquisition might not see things the same way. So, I'm sorry. I just don't want to see them take you away. Be a good boy and listen. I get it. You don't have to apologize. I get it. Oh my goodness. We've been like a good 20 minutes into this single node already, and it's just been dialogue. I didn't expect you to agree so quickly. I know of the events in Salviento with the three abyssal hunters. Irene always writes the most detailed reports after all. And above all, I know that if you meant Iberia harm, you had other much simpler options. The abyssal hunters. Suppose they are as strong and swift as the report suggests. The three of them are still controllable by the Inquisition. We retain the authority to sentence them to death. The only reason they are still allowed to walk Iberian lands is thanks to my curiosity towards your so-called truth. I can't help but wonder if Iberia's current predicament is a result of its pride then. The truth is that no one knows pride better than us. Pride is like the shadow, always lurking behind every man. The two inquisitors with whom you're acquainted have already received their orders. Should the need arise, they will appear before us. It seems we have a few unidentified Aegers in Grand Faro as well. You never mentioned them. Who are they? They aren't Aegir. Iberia is rarely mentioned in the historical record, but that doesn't mean our history is short. At the height of our prosperity, we crossed the entire continent, advancing troops to even Bolivar. Both coin and knowledge flooded into our cities like streams pouring into a valley from a high cliff. Those glorious waterfalls roared so deafeningly loud that they could overcome even the waves of the sea. Sargonian. Those beings that arose, or rather, the Ferenmut. Perhaps it is them that I should keep an eye on. They show no signs of hostility, yet they keep me on edge. Maybe they once belonged to the sea. Kaltzit, you are the doctor here. Could you do the Inquisition a favor? Ask away. The Inquisition's command center is very close to the coastline. We are prepared to face destruction at any moment. But I need you, an outsider, to be our eyes gazing forward. Seeing as we're in the same boat, I have no reason to refuse. Please, Doctor, spare me the mysteriousness your long life has earned you. Show us where the evil that lurks within us sleeps. I'll take that as a compliment, and it would be my honor. It's still going. Gladia. Our brief time together has you addressing me differently. On that point alone, you are quite different from before. Captain, I have a question. We've already shared all the information we have in the time since we left that reeking coast. Not all of it. We alone are more than enough. I don't understand why we must also bring... Look at her now. This is how she once was. I looked into her treatment records at Rhode Island. You've never seen her this quiet before either, have you? Don't you want to help her? And this will help? Perhaps. She alone can defeat her illusions. She is her own key. She can break through the results of those filthy experiments. She's Laurentina, after all. But until then, we need to prepare a warm bed for her. It was only for a short while, but she woke up. Even so, I stared at her like that. Don't be so sentimental. We aren't her. If she doesn't mind the way she is, we have no right to meddle in it. You trust Dr. Kaltzit more than I thought you would. Maybe. She willingly stayed in Iberia and created this opportunity for us. I was surprised, and I have to thank her. I can only hope it goes well for her. Look at the time. Guess it's not happening today either. And here I thought I'd get to see them sooner or later just by waiting in the most conspicuous building in town. This really is such an uneventful place, though. If I'd known it'd be so boring here, I would have brought along a few more books from Rhode Island. A Lateran chapel, and in such a great shape, even right next to the sea. Unbelievable. This place style, it really has a different vibe, though. I mean, as long as there are Laterans in chapels, we can jam whenever, but this place just feels so gloomy. Ah, I'll see. Alright, give me a sec, folks. I need to drink a bit. Alright, let's continue. You'd best stay away from the sea, Geordie. The chapel is clean and safe. Just stay there. Don't worry about anything else. Not a lot of the young ones come back this year. Most who left looked for ways to move to big cities, and now we rely on the Inquisition's handouts to get by. You should think about what I said and leave this place. The folks here are the families of the workmen who gathered here to maintain the lighthouse in the past, but the times have changed. This place will be abandoned sooner or later. Geordie? I'm listening, Uncle. It's just, where can an Aegir go? Amaya told me that there are places outside, in other parts of Iberia, where they aren't so harsh on the Aegir. But I'll need to find a home for myself eventually. I need resources, connections. I can't make a decision that easily. I'm not ready yet. If you say so. Right, Amaya gave me another book, one she translated herself. Not like I'd understand it anyway, though. Take it with you to kill time over in the chapel. Okay. Geordie walks down the street quietly. Seeing the old man in front of him hunching over more and more, he can't help but think back to how he looked just last year. As if to prove how time slowly overtakes us all. Senility is always silent. From the moment you wake up to when you fall asleep, every second is like a gasp for air. But Geordie never complained. He's used to this life after all. Uncle. I'm pretty happy with my life right now. I could get to help out in the chapel. Sometimes I help take care of the children, and sometimes I help patch up the injured workmen. I even got to know that Liberai who came out from out of town the other day. He's so different from everyone else. He said his name is Elysium. You don't have to worry about me. It's been a long time since the Inquisition came to town. We don't always have to be so nervous. That's not a chapel, lad. It's a sentry post. The Inquisition set it up to keep their eyes on us, back when we were still trying to repair the lighthouse. But now that the coastline is peaceful and the work on the Eye of Iberia is shelved, of course the Inquisition doesn't give a toss about us anymore. Still, to be fair, the Inquisition isn't completely useless. Only they can stop those. Those? Nothing, lad. Just a few rumors going around among the workmen. Rumors, Lad? Here? What exactly is that? Should I let Uncle Thiago know? It's a sea monster. Something bothering you, lad? No, it's nothing. Uncle, just what is out there out in the sea? And we finally got past that story node. I bet my stamina's already capped out already. The arrival of outsiders has disturbed this peaceful town. It would be better to ask around the Bitterscale Tavern. A man who has clearly consumed excessive amounts of cheap alcohol over a long period of time is muttering ambiguously, lamenting his lack of a worthwhile life. Upon hearing that foreigners are visiting town, he finally lifts his eyelids, revealing the cloudy pupils underneath. Alive until sunset? A rock and roll band? Pah! The man snorts sharply. Let them rock and roll their way back to where they belong. We all know that this is just another of the Inquisition's cheap tricks, and they're not welcome here. The man picks up his bottle and walks out of the tavern unsteadily. His trailing voice is still faintly audible. They've already ruined this place, what it used to be our. A ragged beggar leans against the side of the chapel, his hands clasped together tightly. He is not so much praying as simply existing, hardly any different from a pebble. Day or night, young or old, healthy or sick, nothing matters to him. Nobody cares about him, and he also cares about nobody. The beggar bows his head deeply, tears rolling from his eyes. I don't deserve to be promoted. Oh goody, finally. Our first node, and indeed my sanity is capped out. Alright, replacing this squad, my event squad. Right, so... Oh wait, no, want to go on the quick select. Whoops. Right, I'll just get a few of my top operators, some healing. Oh, whoops, no, not you. I need to get... Actually, I do need a guard just in case. I'll go grab Horn, and then finally on the last slot, we need to build up Spectre's trust while we've got this event active. Yeah, this team will do for now, unless I need anyone else. But yeah, this will do for now. Miss Alti, your refactored possession was positively spectacular. Really? Calling me surprised? I thought that silly little idea I came up with in the jungles of Sargon was a bit too avant-garde. But turns out that doctor had someone like you under her wing. I thought you'd all be as stuffy as her. Haha, so where are the others? Dan's the excitable type, so she ran straight to the beach. Aya and Frost went back to the hotel. Pretty run-down place, but kind of interesting. Interesting? Really? So did Kaltsit tell you anything about us? I only caught a word or two. Seems like you folks have something important on your hands. I was blown away when I heard that the world-famous Aus had personal ties with Dr. Kaltsit. To be honest, I could say the same. But still, I'm glad to have fans even out here. Gives this trip some much-needed spice. Finally getting to meet you makes that whole excruciating month all worth it, though. If it's not too much trouble, could you please sign this poster too? Why did you even bother coming back to Iberia? And why does Elysium have a poster of, this band with him on this trip? That's rather complicated. And something I sure didn't expect Alti from Alive Until Sunset of all people to be asking me. You like the name of our band? Like? Nay, I absolutely adore it. Appreciate it. So, where is she? I figured she'd be waiting here with that know-it-all look on her face, and then end up telling us nothing in a lot of words. Still waiting for Dr. Kaltsit to contact me. She shouldn't have arrived much later than you all. Hope she hurries up then. High tide is about to roll in. And we're still in cutscene. Outsiders. All outsiders. What happened all of a sudden? Did the Inquisition really loosen up its grip that much? Yes, outsiders. All outsiders. They are very special. They carry the scent of the ocean. Aegir's? Possibly, possibly not. Our brother and sisters are all afraid. We must make haste. Scarcely as has the Inquisition been so negligent. It's too suspicious. Even if the laxity of these waters is a trap, we must continue our relentless pursuit. For the sake of our brothers and sisters, for the sake of restoring the Herald's connection to this land, we must first secure the Eye of Iberia, or destroy it. I do not wish to indiscriminately slaughter the innocent. You are all my family once. Go and have more people join us. We now have the option of choosing a profoundly vast road, greater than what Iberia promised us, greater than this entire land. Those people, are the outsiders why our brothers have become restless? It's highly likely, but I can't say for sure. We are all weak and frail. Our brothers are weak and frail. We cannot act rashly, or the Inquisition will exterminate us. We must be careful, or there will be too much blood spilled on this soil, and she does not like blood. Neither us nor our brothers and sisters need die in vain. Who's there? Surprise, it's the Inquisition, I bet. I knew it. Cultists of the Church of the Deep. I step out of Iberia for just a few years, and now their scent is everywhere. But I'm actually starting to look forward to seeing her for once. Is she still not here? Yeah, Dr. Kalsit mentioned that the Inquisition will probably keep a close eye on her, so... That's weird. I'm sure she was there for the start of the Iberia's Golden Age. She should at least be able to get an audience with their leaders. Why take such a lame approach? Haha, very funny. Iberia's ascent was centuries ago. Even she can't be more than... Seems her long years of experience have taught her how best to navigate this world. Alas, I'm too young and beautiful to get that stuff. Surely you jest, Miss Alti. So, if something really were to happen to her, would you help her? If you're willing to plead on her behalf, maybe. Is she really that important to your, Rhodes Island, was it? To be perfectly honest, I really don't understand why she put herself at risk like this, just to come to Iberia. But I fully believe that she willingly took on this responsibility, and even if Dr. Kaltsit is prepared to risk herself for Iberia, then as an Iberian I have less of an excuse. I see. Then you'd better go take a look. Or keep waiting here. Who knows? Someone might just barge in here hollering and screaming. Hey, what's that supposed to... What a coinkydink. Out on the plaza. I just saw one. A monster. There's a monster out there. Huh? Is anyone here? Wait right here, Miss Salty. I'm going to see what's going on. What a terrible odor. But Dan was right. The petals in the sea of consciousness fall into a waterfall flowing in reverse. The melody of the scales, the ballad of the root stalks, are all ready to come forth. Maybe I'll find a few nuggets of inspiration on this trip after all. What is that? Oz Pedri was right. My grandfather wrote about these in his diary. It's a sea monster. Is it dead? It won't start moving, right? Sorry, excuse me, coming through. What little light remains filters through the clouds, particularly cloven by the monolithic statue. In the light's blood splashes across the ground, forming shadows. A dying sea terror rests quietly in the monolith's shadow, like an old man leaning against a tree to find his final respite. Is it already dead? Old Pedri wasn't lying. It really is a monster. A monster from the sea appeared in Grand Faro. I know what it's called. We've seen them before. So this is a sea terror? But the coastline is so calm. And how could the Inquisition miss something this blatant? Its vacant, lifeless eyes seem to be spinning, the land a vast, waterless ocean before them. But just as Elysia mistakes it for clinging to life, its gaze once again seems to fixate on a deep, profound death, and its motions halt completely. It's staring at me? Or at something else? Who's going to deal with the corpse? Just look at it. How disgusting. Would it eat people if it were still alive? The sea terror cannot speak, but its deformed husk shines brightly. A large group of people gather around it, afraid, suspicious, but nevertheless drawn to it as if it were lit fireworks. Fireworks indeed. Its death is just like fireworks. No gashes, no signs of wounds from a head cannon. Death did not choose it, rather, it chose death. No, now I'm just rambling to myself. If this is one of those sea terrors from the report, then the Church of the Deep must already be closer than we thought. Miss Amaya, hurry, come and take a look at this thing. Now, calm down. Could this really be from the sea? I can't hide from the truth from you all. Indeed, this is a monster from the sea. Then this has to be reported to the Inquisition right away. We need to call the Penal Battalion over to deal with these monsters. No, have the Inquisitors themselves come. Otherwise, we're all doomed. And we're still not on the battle node. We're still not fighting. It seems everyone is running towards the chapel. What's going on? Hey, someone tell me what happened. Someone found the corpse of a monster out in the plaza. A monster? The things old Pedri was talking about? That's right. Everyone was clamoring to pick a messenger to go fetch the Inquisition. Do you know what it looks like? I heard it had fangs a meter long, and 8 pairs of eyes. Hey, where are you going, Thiago? Head back and wait for me, Geordie. Don't set foot outside, no matter what. But... okay, got it. Man, poor lad, not even able to make his own decisions here. We'd better not get mixed up in all this chaos. Who knows what kind of vile diseases these monsters might be carrying. A monster. What in the world is going on? Who's there? Wait! Damn you, Aegir. Accursed Aegir. He actually went and slaughtered one of our kin. Ugh, my wound. You're... Geordie? You know me? Who are you? You don't need to know, nor do you know me. But I know you, if only because you're an Aegir. You're hurt. Yes, and will you bandage me up? Aren't you the chapel's caregiver? I can help you, but you have to tell me how this happened. Very well. Take a seat. Just bear with it. Ugh. Stop moving. Luckily, you don't have any broken bones or ruptured organs. Is this a laceration wound? There's even sawdust stuck beneath the skin. How did this happen? An Aegir killed my kin. I was involved, but managed to escape. Murder? In a small town like this? You have to bring this up with Uncle Thiago right away. Mayor Thiago can't control the Aegir. How ironic. Only the Inquisition can punish him now. But he killed someone in your family. We are always being hunted, out of ignorance, fear, anger, the latter lingering from that disaster. Thank you, I already feel much better. Wait, are you Mr. Wan? So you still remember my face, Geordie. Have you ever wanted to gaze into the sea? Gaze into the sea? Uncle Thiago has taken me to the coast before, but... The sea was dark, the wind tugged at his hair, and the waves roared. The meaning of a hometown varies from person to person. It might be aroma of wheat, the angle of the shadow cast across an alley, or the sound of wheels rolling over mud and snow. But at that moment, Geordie knew that his life in Grand Faro had already been paid for in advance with his hometown. The land has already forgotten the ocean's true form, but sooner or later we shall all return to the sea. Broken Aegarian. Thank you, Geordie. Thank you for your kindness. May infinite altruism fill the void of existence one day. If you are still Aegir, Geordie, then leave us be. Turn back and return to your life. It is better that way. Perhaps you too, like your parents before you, will go in search of that lighthouse. What did you say? I didn't catch that. My kindred refugees have come for me. But do not worry. Grand Faro has always been a stepping stone. Our destination is the deep sea. Geordie, Aegir, we shall meet again. Alright, SN1. Alright, pretty simple. Oh dear, I accidentally resized the freaking game. I did not mean to. Oopsie. Whoops. Alright, let's get this game resized properly. There we go, that should be fine. Oh, whoops, Myrtle, let's use your skill. Anyways, Ifrit, go on this line for me. Oh shoot, we've got ranged. Okay, well, I wasn't expecting that. To be fair, that was pretty much my fault. Okay, and we've got enemies that just randomly fall into the hole for some reason. That's fine. Yeah, this shouldn't be too bad. It's pretty much overkill anyway. And more cutscene. The sea is black. I was 4 or 5 at the time. Old Thiago, the mayor of Grand Faro, took an armed company of adults down to the coast. I still remember what the weather was like back then. It was hazy and turbulent, and colder than most evenings despite still being afternoon. Its coldness was not a temperature, but rather a colour, one that had lost its warmth. I found out only later that that was the last time Grand Faro did maintenance work on the Eye of Iberia, or rather tried to. The Penal Battalion quickly brought back news. There was a dejection in the adults' faces, but I didn't fully understand what had happened. I simply stared at the junction between the sea and sky in a daze. The sea is black. It perfectly suits this land devoid of hope. Mayor Thiago is here. So what old Pedri said was true, Amaya. Even if I wished to deny it, I'd be quickly silenced by the reality in front of our eyes. But what kind of person could slay a monster, then offhandedly toss it here? I hope you'll let me handle this. That. If we don't dispose of it properly, I'm afraid it could become a danger down the road. Besides, is this not a rare opportunity to study a sea terror? Very well, but I'll be coming with you. None of us know exactly what this thing is just yet, and we certainly can't rule out the possibility that its blood might attract more of its kind. No objections here. With me, lads. Move aside so I can wrap up this body. Well, it's not as heavy as it looks. So where to, Amaya? Follow me. Don't just stand there gaping. Hurry on home now, people. Are we really not going to report this to the Inquisition? What do we do if more monsters show up? There's no need to get them involved. But I said we don't need them. Thiago. This town doesn't need the penal battalion interfering just yet. We'll handle things on our own way. If the Inquisition sent its people here and saw this thing, you'd never see another peaceful day in Gran Faro. Do you really not understand that? But, never mind, forget it. Let's go, Amaya. We're really just going to listen to him? Oh, Thiago's hatred for the Inquisition goes back more than a day or two. But if something really were to happen without the penal battalion here, who's going to fight the monsters? Us? Plus, there have been more and more outsiders lately. It's like Thiago doesn't even see them. If they were to blend in with the outsiders... I knew it. We really should send someone to the Inquisition. How are we supposed to explain all of this if someone from the penal battalion does show up? I don't want to get branded a heretic. Miss Amaya, and what's with that author over there? Let's touch base with the other members of Aus first. I feel like we can't just ignore all of this. Is the chapel normally this deserted? What happened to your god and your faith? Not every Iberian is practicing Lateran, Miss Alti. The town has become quite dangerous, and I need to secure your safety until Dr. Kaltsit arrives. Might as well put on a show here then. Some music would help calm everyone's nerves. Haha, that's not what I meant. Then calm down. Let me take a stab at what I think happened. I saw some kind of sea creature. Right, you guys called it a sea terror. Whether the Iberians or Karsits were the first to call it that doesn't really matter to me. A sea terror beneath a cruelly dry sky. Its observant and analytical scales with nowhere to belong. It knows very well that this is not its home. It lives back home. I've got it. That sea terror was probably hung high up on that sculpture, and it was swung in the latest wave of rock and roll, right? It wasn't hung up there, nor was it singing, but you got like 80 or 90% of it down. You've surprised me again, Miss Salty. Was that your arts? Who's to say that death itself isn't just another kind of song? That's what it taught me, and it's a real travesty of nature that the beauty of it can't be appreciated across species. What do you think? Fortunately, such an art form is not required by all organisms. Dr. Calcit, how come I couldn't get a hold of you this whole time? Long story short, I'm under the surveillance of the Iberian Inquisition in exchange for their trust. We don't have much time, but the task before us is grave. Operator Elysium, go keep an eye on the two who took the Sea Terror's body away. I need to speak with Alti alone. Understood. Here's a communicator. You should already be familiar with my originium arts, so you can also, pass it on to your colleagues. Will do. I know you prefer to keep handovers quick and efficient, but let me say this. I'm so relieved you're safe and sound. If I discovered anything, I'll report back right away. Heading out. Appreciate it. Long time no see, Doctor. Miss Alty. Sorry for making you come all this way. I understand this involves putting yourselves at risk to some extent. So why are you under surveillance? You couldn't just cut a deal with them? Time is short, and Iberia's paranoia masquerading as piety prevents me from meeting with the Inquisition's upper echelons. Are you in a hurry? The other countries still do not understand what we are dealing with. They are unable to comprehend how a vast and mighty land in its golden age disappeared into the silence. And I may as well have witnessed it with my own eyes. Fair enough. Where are the others? We rarely get to go on a tour, so let them enjoy some free time. What you want is right here. Some Arundum-looking diamonds thing. I came to you for the same reason as last time. That said, I have a little love for the sea these days, especially after hearing what you had to say about it. Hopefully you've had enough time to make up your mind. Before we get to that, Doctor, doesn't it seem like you've been working on, let's call it your bedside manner? Like an X-ray machine with a voice grating? Whoops, put my foot in my mouth again. You should already be used to that though, right? But how quaint indeed. I didn't think anything could possibly change the way you dealt with people. Or should I say, your personality. There's always something. Alright, maybe I'd rather not pry into your personal affairs. He's here. He's still here. And it's not just him. There's more. The scent of the sea. Since when were there so many Aegir in this little town? The Inquisition planned it. Maybe even now, at this very moment, there are still Inquisitors, their heads addled with their ignorant laws, intent on continuing their self-righteous deeds. When did you have the time to wrap yourself up after escaping from the enemy? An Aegir helped me. A friend? No, just an Aegir who loves the sea. What do we do about our brother's body? It's currently in the hands of Amaya and Thiago. We'll have to figure something out. We ought to prepare a funeral for it. A funeral is a human ritual, not ours. Amaya has said that we should live the way our hearts dictate, pure in desire, pure in worship, just as those ignorant inquisitors treat their own faith. Would that not make us equally ignorant? Ignorance is a part of our very nature. We have yet to throw it away. We have not yet become them. Sophistry. That I cannot deny. But do you wish to see the land dwellers torment the corpse of our brother? Long have we lived on land, with no herald to guide us. All we can do is seek out our own way of embracing the ocean. But before that, we should give our brother a proper burial. We ought to mourn any senseless death. Who would be able to slay this creature with such ease? Thiago? What? I'd understand if it had been surrounded by 4 or 5 penal battalion soldiers, or if it took the flames of castigation from the Inquisitor's lantern. But this poor sea terror has but a single wound on its body. While I've never personally seen the rumoured High Inquisitors fight, I'd imagine that if anyone in all of Iberia could pull this off, it'd be them. Impossible. Nobody has seen an Inquisitor come to Grand Faro. But our little town, which rarely sees any outsiders, has been welcoming visitor after visitor as of late. Surely this can't all be due to the Inquisitor's negligence, right? That. Perhaps the marching of the penal battalion cannot be hidden from our ears, but what of the Inquisitors? If they have changed out of their uniforms and concealed their lanterns and swords, how would we ever know? You mean to say that an Inquisitor might already be here, hidden among the outsiders? I'm saying it's a possibility. I'm going on a little walk. Thiago! I'm sure even you understand that most people would rather have the Inquisitors help them get rid of the Sea Terrors. I know, of course I know. I wouldn't hate a beast for no reason, but I will hate those people. Those Inquisitors. Amaya gently caresses the Sea Terror's corpse. The fate left to it by death was not such a terrible one. By human standards, it certainly appeared deformed and terrifying, but what about from other perspectives? How would the court of nature of life itself judge this perfect creature? Alone in the empty pub, Amaya decides to stop pondering this question, or at least the pub appears empty. She and Thiago believe it is. But the shadows begin to writhe, and something steps out from within, its simple outline etched out beneath the dim light's glow. It is a person, an Aegir. Was this your doing? It has nothing to do with you. You don't look like you're from the penal battalion. You cannot deceive me. Wait, you're an Aegir? That makes you even less likely to be an Inquisitor. Silence is the most terrifying sound in the sea. We cannot tolerate it a second time. None of us can. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I think you should leave. The Bishop of Salviento is dead. I am not as patient as you might believe. I never thought I'd see a living abyssal hunter with my own eyes. Inquisitors? No, impossible. How could an Inquisitor be here? Mr. Thiago, just now Mr. Thiago? Get out of this place as soon as possible. You, and the rest of you your lot. You're a nice lad, I can see that. Geordie can too, but... There's something sleeping beneath our little town, and there's nothing normal about any of this. No, Iberia's never been normal, not since then. I hear you. I'll leave as soon as I can. But I think I saw something in front of the chapel just now. Tell me, lad, are you from the Inquisition? Are you trying to get close to Geordie so you can take him away? Mr. Thiago? Go ahead and lie to me. I'll fight you to the death too, outsider. I'm not. You know as well as I do. If I really were the Aegir, why would I wait so long? It's just a single sea terror. We're by the coast and we've seen things like this before, decades ago. There's nothing to get worked up over, outsider. It's none of your business. Mr. Mayor Thiago, I'm willing to help you iron out some of the issues in this town. You? There's nothing for you to do. Even if it means Geordie's life will be in danger? Nobody's here. Why aren't Amaya and Thiago here? It's his scent. That damn Aegir. He took Amaya away. How dare he? No, that's not quite right. Amaya doesn't know how to fight. He wouldn't do anything to her. At least our brother's remains are still here. What do we do now? Take it away. This rotting shack is not suitable to be its coffin. After that, we will find it a proper home. Look at it. Death is nothing more than a gentle attendant. That is something that Aegir Butcher could never understand. Let's go. So in other words, we're what? Insurance? To my understanding, none of you have any desire to return to the ocean and fight these monsters. You were born of the sea and are very powerful, but even if you regain your original forms, you will never be able to rid yourselves of those creatures. Oh, is it that dangerous? More than you can imagine. To be honest though, we never cared too much about that. We just do what we want. Most people inhabiting this great land possibly think the same thing, right? If the Seaborn can understand language and music, then I'm sure you'll find an audience, even if disaster were to befall Terra. In fact, they're more complete creatures than humans, and have greater resistance to all sorts of things. Give them a few hundred years and maybe they'll even adapt to Originium. I'm aware. So answer me this, Doctor. Us, the Aegir, Sea Terrors, the Seaborn, and all our pitiable kin lurking in the depths of the ocean. How are any of us different in your eyes? You were born much later. There are many things you do not yet understand. When Frost awoke from the deep rock formation, her first thought was to get away from those aliens and monsters. There's nobody to communicate with in the sea, and everyone on land eventually hides their original forms and disappears. Fortunately, music can open a crack in the loneliness. If this situation is resolved, I'll have plenty of time to discuss the past. I also hope that none of you actually gets involved with either Iberia or the Aegir's plans. Why not? I thought you were eager for us to lend a helping hand. It's been too long since I've been in touch with the Aegir. The tides are crying out, and a lack of information hampers my predictions. We do not yet know the true origins of this calamity, nor are we able to infer any possibilities. Worst case scenario, even you won't have any way to... It seems we have uninvited guests. Huh? They already have the nerve to show themselves openly in town? Someone's knocking at the door. Without a word, Kaltsit turned her eyes to the chapel's doors. The thick wooden slabs had endured an unfathomable amount of turmoil over the years, each mark upon them a chronicle of the past. She knows there is something outside them, and what it is. What she cannot imagine, however, is that the Church of the Deep's followers would already dare to be so brazen. Or perhaps... Outsiders, a grotesque scent belonging to those strange Aegir. The two cultists step into the chapel. This Lateran edifice, once wrapped in the cloth of faith, now drapes these two faceless figures. In their arms they hold their brother, a sea terror, or perhaps just a being stripped of all other names, now nothing more than an expired life form. Look at what they're holding in their arms. A sea terror, so they don't intend to fight. The cultist carrying his brother's body passes by Kaltsit without turning his head, as if he does not see the two standing in his path. It is as if he came all this way from the doors of the chapel to step onto the depths of martyrdom. My brother, oh brother, hear me out. It is our incompetence that led to your untimely fate. It is our cowardice that prevented you from returning to the sea. Forgive me, my brother. I can yet hear your voice. The people of this world all believe in death to be the terminus of all life, but we understand that once our individual forms are transcended, even death itself is powerless. He lays his brother's remains upon the ground and draws a deep breath. He falls to his knees, his eyes net filled with sorrow. Until we return to the ocean, I shall be your coffin. I will take you back to these depths. Come, my brother, may you slumber eternally. We shall become one. The oral ingestion of protein is an act of feeding, yet he did not intend to consume his brother. He was simply forced to use a more primordial method of bringing the two as one. Chimera. Ugh! Ugh! What is he doing? Assimilation. The simplest method of forcefully penetrating his own torso with the Sea Terror's body. Should we stop him? It's pretty gross and totally lacking in aesthetics. Someone will, but it's not us. One, what are you doing? It's still alive. I can feel it. What did you say? The Inquisition is here. You... Repulsive. Though this chapel may be deserted, it is still a sacred place to the Iberian Inquisition, and yet you dare openly blaspheme our laws and creeds. Someone from the Inquisition actually snuck in? But what happened to that Aegir? One! You... curse you... damn Iberian! Kill him! Gah! The sea terror of the grim lake crests and troughs as the mountains roiling in the twilight, carrying the scent of rotting flesh. The traitor nearly usurps the throne of his new home, screeching gleefully. To think that you target such a small, inconspicuous town after Salviento. Even now, the Inquisition underestimates the scope of the Church of the Deep's influence. Indeed, your taint is pervasive. One! The Inquisitor! You have to... You're even weaker than any of the Church of the Deep remnants I've seen. Why do you keep on staying in this unremarkable town? Answer me! Oh my goodness. That was very long. I think my sanity's filled up again. Alright, let's go through all of these. What the hell was that? Why is this happening to Grand Faru? First the Aegir and the cultists, and now these damned monsters. I need to leave this place. Otherwise, I've seen it with my own eyes. The Inquisition's flames will burn a person's soul dry. I leave these things to you. Hey, thank you for the event rewards. A strange wheeled device rolls down from the pile of debris, covered in dust and missing parts, but still emitting a strange glow. It's unclear what activated it, but it nevertheless whirs to life. Around its chassis are the words "Little Handy," written in Aegirian. If its missing components can be found, it may prove unexpectedly helpful on the battlefield. Little Handy unlocked. Okay, so we just need to explore a bit. The devout gather around the chapel, trembling as they close their eyes. They turn around and press their foreheads against the cold wall, as if the chapel's weather-worn stone had become their last pillar of support. Fire! Light! He's brought lights! An old man covers his eyes, convulsing as he screeches. Oh, another cutscene. He grew up along the coast. He longed for the freedom to see the ocean. Oh goodness, we're in for another 20-minute scene? Alright, just give me a moment, folks. I need to blow my nose a bit. The mucus has just been building up from all this narration. Okay, I'm back, folks. I really need to clear out my throat there. Whew. There we go, my nose is feeling a lot better now. Alright, let's continue with the story here. Geordie! Uncle Thiago, what's going on? Quick, pack up. We have to go. Wait, what? Where are we going? The Inquisition is coming. What? The cultists, the monsters from the sea. Are we leaving this town for good? We? No, just you. When the Inquisition finds out that there are cultists here, the Aegir will be their first target. I don't care what happens to the cultists, or even the rest of us. We've lived here too long. We don't know how to live anywhere else. But you're different. You've always wanted to see the world outside. You're young and talented. But this is all so sudden. It's an opportunity for change, lad. Your last chance. Be brave. Even if you somehow survive the Inquisition's interrogation, all that's waiting for you here is a life spent in fear of the ocean and the sea terrors. If you leave through, though, your fate will finally be in your own hands, not stuck in that little chapel. That place is too small for you. You should just... But it's so sudden. There's no time to hesitate, lad. You must be strong, like your parents and their parents before them. Did my parents really give their lives for Iberia? We don't have time for this. Come, we must pack. It's been so long since we've had a traveling trader stop by. All your clothes are so old. You could buy new ones so easily out there. All the more reason to leave, don't you think? Yeah, whenever Closure has one for Geordie here. But why would the Inquisition be looking for Aegir? Couldn't cultists just as well be Liberi or feline? Aegir come from the sea, same as the monsters and the disaster. Wait, have you seen them? No, I mean, Uncle, you knew? You knew they were here? Yes, we all knew there was something to the rumors. Juan was one of them. He went into an empty warehouse to hide from the streets. He was hurt, and he had no hostility towards me. Right, because you're Aegir. I know they've gone mad, that they're not normal. But why? Are you sheltering them? None of that matters anymore. You'll be leaving soon. No, I don't want to. What? I was born here in Gran Faro. If I run away just to hide from the Inquisition, I don't know. You what? Do you have any idea what you're saying? No Aegir has ever made it back in one piece after the Inquisition gets them. If you're lucky, you might return missing a few body parts, or maybe your sanity. Most simply disappear, though. Some say they've been imprisoned, others that they've been executed. No one comes back, no one. The Inquisition will burn everything to the ground in their mercy before the monsters and cultists even get a chance. Nothing cleanses like fire. Uncle Thiago, calm down. The angry? Angry old man sees in Geordie the shadow of himself, arriving in this land all those years ago, hoping to construct a new garden out of the ruins. Decades have passed, and those who were once young are no longer so. Yet what have they built in Gran Faro? What has become of Iberia? Their efforts have done nothing to change the tidings of fate, and the home that they've put so much of their passion into now stands on the precipice of collapse. A vast helplessness engulfs Thiago, like the dark clouds over the sea. No one has ever come back. Not Marin, not anyone else. Gran Faro is already burning, be it the Inquisition or the monsters. There's no future for us here. Uncle Thiago. I'll never be able to face your parents if anything happens to you, Geordie. I know. Can I go see the ocean? Dream now, and may your sleep be full of nightmares. Leave them to me, Calcit. Soon enough they will confess where their dark and dank schemes take root. No doubt. Wow, the old man's with you, Doctor? You are Alive Until Sunset, a rock band. I must admit I don't understand these newfangled trends. Have faith in the divinity of song, then. Iberia hasn't recorded a direct sighting of a Furon mutt for centuries, much less an interaction. If your music represents your views on human society, then that would certainly pique my interest. We haven't paid attention to that sort of thing since Deep Color in the Sea. It's a topic that's all too familiar, you see. Ha! I wonder, what music would you put to Iberia? The most surprising thing I found at my age is how much it still surprises me. As we discussed, the Inquisition will prepare a means for you to travel to the Eye of Iberia as soon as possible, Calcit. You will eliminate any obstacles in your path. That sea terror, the one that's embedded in the guy. There's the scent of an Aegir still on it. A different scent, though, one more like us, the scent of the sea. What? I'm gonna guess it's a Maya. Or the Abyssal Hunter. Thiago's steps are small but quick. He seems burdened by age, yet surprisingly energetic. It was all Geordie could do to keep up with his pace. He said he wanted to see the ocean. He did not know why he said that. Even now, he does not know whether it is he who wants to see it or Thiago. I'm an Aegir, Geordie thinks. The sea is my home. But how do I breathe down there? How did my ancestors live underwater? Questions pop into his head one after another. Questions he had been curious about from a young age. But Thiago is Liberi, and cannot answer his questions. The Aegir came from the ocean. Why would they drown in the ocean? No, it's not too bad. The sea. When was the last time I saw it? If the female battalion were here, they would have taken us in for questioning by now. Sorry for asking you to do this. It's fine. Look at the coastline. Barren and decrepit. Decades ago, we had big dreams of building an impregnable fortress here. Today, there's a penal battalion outpost several clicks to the northeast, and another on the cliffs to the west. Everything else, a lie, or perhaps a dream in the truest sense. Reality is before our eyes, reminding us that the old Iberia will never return. Thiago whistles. Geordie rarely sees him do so. A change seems to have come over the normally gloomy mayor, turning him into a young worker once again, passionate about building his home. Tss, it's all in the past. We failed. Grand Faro is the final resting place of our failures. You mentioned your parents, didn't you, lad? I did. I don't remember much of the ocean. Everyone talks about Aegir and the Islanders, but none of it feels real. I was born on land. Aye, your parents, or more accurately your grandparents, came from a place called Aegir, a great country deep beneath the ocean. That's where you are from, lad. Aegir. Years ago, The dream we had for Grand Pharaoh wasn't the lifeless town you see today. It would have been a fortress, one that laughs at any siege. We would have built defenses on the coast around it, protected our country from calamity, heralded her revival, and rebuilt our home, all with our own hands. We really thought so. Geordie does not interrupt. Thiago grows increasingly excited, a light returning to his dull, clouded eyes. Every hair on his body stands on end. He changes his posture. The sea breeze brushes against his brow, and he even looks grander somehow. The last step of our grand design, spanning half a century, was to return to the Eye of Iberia and relight the lighthouse. The lighthouse? A relic of the Golden Age, spared from destruction by the profound silence. Not even calamity could break us. We marched ever forward, our hearts filled with hope. Marin wore that blue hat of hers. She said we'd become heroes, that our names would live on. Your grandparents, your parents, your 2 generations of Grand Pharaoh gave everything they had for this blueprint. Their greatness would have been immortalized forever. But now there's nothing left. You see that ship? There used to be many ships at the port. The penal battalion should have taken it, but they've forgotten all about it. All that left is some junk and a town in the middle of nowhere. More troubles than I can count. People stuck in a dead end and that ship. Yes, that ship. My parents, and the grandparents I've never met. Were they proud of their duty? This isn't the first time you've asked that. You've asked it when you first learned to talk, and when you started working at the chapel. You asked it many times, pointing at the dust-covered notebooks and schematics at home. I remember. Yes, lad. No matter how many times you ask, my answer is always yes. No matter the outcome, they never lost hope after that great disaster, and gave their all to the cause. Your parents even volunteered for our final attempt to reach the Eye. Don't blame them for abandoning you. They were carrying what was left of all our dreams. So many years had come and gone. We had to succeed. The last trip we saw of them was when their fleet set sail from right here. They were heroes. Marin said we would all become heroes, but now none of us are, except for the dead. I see. So my father and mother. But you know what laid waste to it all? In the midst of despair, we managed to muster the hope to relight the lighthouse. And what came of it? The Inquisition. They arrested the Aegir. They said that there were Church of the Deep spies among us. We were fighting for Iberia, but the Inquisition took everything from us. Our pride, our dignity, our dreams, everything. Do you understand now? Leave this hopeless town. Leave Iberia and go as far as you can. Go to another country. Go to a better place. There's nothing left here in Grand Pharaoh. The sea! It's the wrong way. Are we just gonna leave our instruments in that damp room? No, I could smell the waves. The sea is just ahead. What do waves smell like? Like cotton. Using olfactory vocabulary to express visual elements. But you're right, the sea is right up ahead. You. An Aegir and of a different breed from the ones who grow up on land. You must be that sort of strange Aegir. What did they call you again? Oh right, Abyssal Hunters. Gladia frowns. She rarely expresses her emotions in such complex ways. It came from her instincts as an Abyssal Hunter, as a consul, as an Aegir technician, as a soldier. You are Aus. You know them? Yes, by chance. Oh, why so mysterious? Well, whatever. I'm just glad our name is known even among the Aegir.
Alti once visited that ship, following your scent trail, but this is the first time we've met in person. I'm Aya, main vocalist of ours. Dan here is our drummer. Greetings, guests from the sea. You're of the sea too. A pleasure to meet you. When I came to the land, I saw Kaltsid to learn more about you, about your terrestrial kin. Oh, if you're talking about the things on land, then I guess we're kin, technically. Not sure if I can say the same about the ones in the sea. What are you here for? The doctor? Just an appointment. We seek a way back to Aegir. Back to Aegir, huh? The three of you together? We are not so easily separated. Ah, what great friendship. What about the one in the back? Is she shy? Why doesn't she say anything? Something doesn't seem right with her. Her brain is tormented. Is she sick? You could say so. Poor thing. Mm-hmm. What is it, Dad? I just felt something up my spine, like an electric shock to my brain. Then a strange voice. Unusually quiet, Spectre gazes at the sky. She closes her eyes, waves brush across against chaotic thoughts. This place is far from the coast, but something is touching her consciousness. It is in the wind, among the clouds, through the land, from the sea. A voice. I can hear it. I don't hear anything. The music of the sea. The children of the sea are crying. It is a song. The scent of sea terrors. Lots of them. The town is under attack. Hey! How did you get in here? Are you an Inquisitor? The ones you're dragging are... Go home. These two are under suspicion of colluding with heretics. I am performing my duty as an Iberian Inquisitor. Leave now, unless you want to be caught up in the battle. Their blood will draw enemies. An Inquisitor? When did the Inquisition arrive? Were those outsiders your informants? I am not a cultist. I don't have anything to do with those guys. Do you know these two? Them? One? It's one? I always thought he looked suspicious. That's enough. No need to torment yourself. Go home, and be sure your doors and windows are locked. Alright. You can come out now. An Inquisitor? No, a High Inquisitor. What's the Inquisition doing here? Maya and Thiago have gone missing. Did the Aegir have something to do with it? You killed one, you bastard! Not quite. He yet lives. I intend to extract some answers from him. You are different from the enemies I know. Your minds are your own, and you are working under clear-cut directions. But if you're truly sane and awake, then you should understand that you stand no chance against me, nor any other brave soldier of the Inquisition. Why give up your lives? What meaning is there in your futile sacrifice? What have the accursed tides promised you? What are you scheming on this barren shore? I have many questions, enemies of Iberia, and I can only hope your god has answers. We're gonna do another. So yeah, all these cutscenes have been like 20 minutes each. Okay, finally, there's the next node. Let's just open these other ones up. Cultists have infiltrated town, and the growing monsters drift from the shadows. It is impossible to pass through here. Okay, not yet. And what do we have here? Okay, that's being blocked as well. Alright then, let's go do this mission. Plaza South. Right, we'll stick with who we've got. Alright, thankfully another small map.
Alright, just get the Myrtle. Myrtle active. Alright, this. We're pretty much done here. Yeah, no one's gonna die now at this point. Alright, and one more enemy. And oh goody, another 20-minute cutscene scene for us to go through. Yeah, you know what? I'll let the stream go on for 3 hours because I'm quite enjoying just going through this, even though this is very sanity inefficient right now. You're not going to help? You aren't rising from your seats either. I'm not needed. Strictly speaking, I'm still a prisoner of Iberia. It is not my place to worry for a High Inquisitor. Let's talk about the two of us. We'll stay in this town on the coastline for a while. We know how to follow stage directions. If you and your abyssal hunters fail, we'll take the Iberians and pull back to an appropriate position. Assuming the old man outside listens to us anyway. You're willing to help the people on the land. Frost is young. I'm about the same age as Dan. I may be a little older. There's little left for us to love except music. Frailty of body and mind has driven humans to seek breakthroughs within their short lifespans. And what do you know? They pulled it off. Indeed. But the sea's not a fan of heavy metal. We don't have a choice. As far as survival is concerned, the land is the lesser evil. It would not be difficult to get this country to listen, reveal a few secrets, hint at old wounds, and promise that the same disaster will not strike again. Can it really be that easy? Even simpler, if promises can be considered lies. Monsters! Monsters! Where's the Inquisition? Anyone, help! As ever, Calcit picks the worst meeting locations. What's going on here? Thank you. Are you an Aegir too? From the outside? Two? Ah, you refer to Aus. Aegir, eh? Are you here to fight them? You took out those monsters in the blink of an eye. Your attitude towards the Aegir seems different in this town. There used to be a lot of them around here, until about 20 years ago. Did the Inquisition send you? Should we ask for their help? None of my concern. But unless you intend to get hurt, I recommend hiding until this is over. All right. This place, they're everywhere. Not as bad as Salviento, but it's still strange.
This town has not been consumed by rot. There are even those leading more or less normal lives here. The waves have not touched this place. Then the float Sam has gone into hiding. No surprise there if our target is that ship. Then Kaltsit must have chosen this place for a reason. Should we split up? I'll find Kaltsit. You and Shark handle the sea terrors. Right. They are weak, but don't get hurt. Weakness is often bait. Shark? Take care of her, Skadi. I still have trouble getting used to how she is now. I know. Monsters! Where did they come from? This way! Oh, right! They're relatively few in number, but surprisingly coordinated. Is someone leading them? And how could they have just popped up out of nowhere? Where are they hiding? Is it this way? Getting closer. There's someone here. One falls, another takes their place. We give our lives only to buy time. No one here can stand against the High Inquisitor. All who resist are doomed. In death lies hope. Do not squander it. Yes, we must hasten our departure, but it is a shame to abandon the closest outpost we have to the Eye of Iberia. We need but one to reach the Eye. Who goes there? Crap. Liberai! Don't let him get away! Grandfather will be no more. Is this what you want? Our interests are aligned. This shouldn't have to happen. You're the only one who can stop both the Inquisition and your own people. I'll kill you, Amaya, soon. My, I thought we were on a first-name basis, old pianist. Perhaps you intended to make your move once we'd arrived at the lighthouse, but you know full well that's not our destination. We're going someplace further, and it's there we'll make our choice. Aren't the Abyssal Hunters all of one mind? Why haven't you gone back to your squad? What are you thinking? You never saw what I saw. Ah yes, the oldest story in the book. They never saw what you saw either. Did you lose trust in each other? Aegir is united by the bonds of blood. I chose to go into exile in order to achieve our common goal. Stay away from them, Amaya. Even on dry land, Gladia, Skadi, and Laurentina can wipe this town from existence with little more than a shrug. The hand that Amaya has placed on the book moves ever so slightly. Unperturbed, she smiles back at the provocation. You're right. Thank you for the concern. I need that ship. I must reach it before Gladia. They cannot return to Aegir not knowing nothing of what's going on. Finally shook them off. How can they be hiding this many people? Is this town some kind of clown car? There's nothing but barrens to the north. So where are they coming from? A pleasure to meet you, ma'am. You must be the Abyssal Hunter that Kaltsit mentioned. Is this your work? Iberia is not always so messy. I beg your pardon. Gladia is quiet for a moment. In her long years on dry land, she has seen how weak and backwards the terrestrial states are, but also the strength of the Inquisitors at Salviento. Kaltsit's words echo in her mind as she thinks on how to live alongside those above water. The silence lasts only a moment. I am Gladia, Technology Consul of Aegir, and the Abyssal Hunter's chief designer of warfare. For the first time, she speaks to a land dweller as a representative of Aegir. Her counterpart nods. sheaths his rapier, and strides over the silent carcass of the sea terror. Carmen, High Inquisitor of the Iberian Inquisition, I see the legends of Aegir hold true. You're different from the others. I have a few more years under my belt. Where's Calcit? She's speaking to another guest from the ocean in the chapel. Gladia turns to walk away when, if you've come to speak to the doctor, I'm sure she shared the same information with you. Perhaps. What do you think of her suggestion? We can talk after I've confirmed she's unharmed. We have no reason to harm someone who wishes to protect Iberia from the bottom of her heart. So you say. I've seen more foolishness in my brief time on lands than I have for half a lifetime. If it's been such a brief time, how can you be so sure? The worst of times bring out the worst in people. Iberia's current reality is far from gilded. Regardless, I'm not here to debate. If she's in the chapel behind you, then you'll never reach the Eye of Iberia without the Inquisition's help. It was not destroyed in the profound silence. If the Sultifera remains afloat, then the Eye of Iberia is the only way to find it in the vastness of the ocean. What Iberia can offer, I can achieve with my own, with only slightly more effort. I suppose I have something to look forward to then, Gladia. Oh my goodness, there's still more. I guess around 10 more minutes of cutscene? How many left? 4 or 5 maybe. Some have departed to seek sanctuary somewhere else. Very well. Burn these documents. We don't have time for them. Grand Pharaoh, I once called this place home. You are still bound by such distractions? No, no more. Burn them all. The Inquisition must not find them. We embrace this knowledge and promote harmony through enlightenment. The Inquisition, in their ignorance and selfishness, calls it heresy. Let's go. We will find a way to re-establish contact. We too will embrace the ocean someday. Are they gone? Is this one of their hideouts? And here I thought it was just a struggling restaurant. It's only 2 blocks from the chapel, for crying out loud. They're burning their papers. I have to put the fire out. The flames are too strong. I have to save what I can. Ouch, that's hot. Whew. Are these blueprints? Some sort of equipment? The stamp of approval has been burned to ash. Historical records of Iberia. Theses on the ocean currents. What are they planning? Briogan? Royal shipwright? And what's this? A drawing of that statue in the square? Put that down, Liberi. Let it burn as it should. You! Elysium has always been confident in his ability to talk his way out of a situation. But in this case, however, he does not get a chance to, barely avoiding the touch of cold steel. Hey, don't you know it's rude to strike without warning? Dr. Calcit, their goal is... Oh, well, rip Elysium. Alright, let's start with the top one. A rustling sound comes from the empty shop. It is the struggling of a victim, or... Right, we'll search. A sea terror is curled up behind the counter, with an elderly woman sitting across from it. A stack of diagrams lies scattered between the old woman and the sea terror. Though half her face is concealed by a hood, she is undoubtedly staring at the creature before her. Many years ago, she had dedicated all her talents to Iberia's greatest expedition, but that intrepidly ended in a terrifying silence. After experiencing hardship, struggle, and delusionment, she gave herself to a greater cause, one transcending country or geography. She sought to find the perfect other side that all living things could cross over to. What's more, within the cult, she is able to continue the research on monsoons and hydrology that has captivated her so. Now that the Inquisition has arrived, the products of her blood, sweat, and tears must be burned, her theories never to see the light of day. She chose to dedicate them to a cycle of the Great Evolution, to a sea terror. Sea terrors roam right in front of her, but do no more than roam. Fortunately, she is patient. And no interaction with them? Sheds still line the shores, offering a glimpse of how bustling this small town used to be. People from all over used to arrive, trying to restore a glimmer of hope following the calamity. But now it's been abandoned, its sheets of metal rusting away. The precious materials once used to build this place are now scattered about everywhere, no longer of anyone's concern. Yep, let's just take more of the event materials and a conversation spot. An old man's vigilant eyes peer out from behind the curtains. He had experienced this decades ago, and is no stranger to it. Their hopes of rebuilding are being crushed underfoot, and the instigator is someone they believed in. The friends regarded as brothers have disappeared into the shadows. The plans into which countless hours were poured have been put on hiatus, and the imposing man with the lantern says that the cult has infiltrated you. The old man gazes at the photo hanging upside down over his bed. The once dazzling sunset had faded. And thus a dream was shattered. Between monsters and humans, which is truly more terrifying? And here we are, more cutscene. Along the uninhabited street, travelers from afar now sing. Irene. Yes, Maestro. I mean, sir. You seem distracted. I'm fine. Grand Faro is a tiny town, so small that most maps don't even bother to list it. But this is a request from Lord Carmen himself, and it involves Dr. Calcit and those Aegir. I know, sir, If you still haven't found your answer, I will not give you permission to join the mission. I'd already made up my mind when I first decided to follow in your footsteps and become an Inquisitor. Yes, before you even knew the question, an answer is worthless if it cannot explain what you see and hear. Don't die a worthless death, Irene. You know what we're fighting against, and you must find your own answer. Yes, sir. Lady Calcit. Gladia's tone does not change, but her footsteps reflect her mood. A blink of the eye, and she is by Calcit's side. Good work, Gladia. The Inquisition didn't do anything to you, did they? The fact that Iberia has not yet sunk into the sea has proof that they still retain a shred of humility and vigilance. You found a way, as promised. Yes, however, even if Iberia is willing to let go of their fears, what about Aegir? What about you? If this temporary cooperation is necessary to help us return to the ocean, so be it. Finally, an Aegir with some sense, right? Like the waves themselves, like the razor and texture of the sea. Hello there, Special Aegir. I believe you've already met our other members. Yes, you're also a member of Aus. Elsie, bassist, nice to meet you. How are things outside? The cultists are out in force, but individually they are rather weak. My hunters can take care of everything. The Inquisition will only work with us once we've taken care of the problems in Grand Faro. Then there's no time to waste. Gladia raises her lance. At the same time, she senses that something is not right. There, among the sea terrors, But how could it be? Calcit here. Dr. Calcit, their goal is... Elysium? What's the matter? One of our operators is in trouble. Something lurks here. As we discussed, Alti, the members of Aus can stay ashore. We'll handle this as quickly as possible. Sure, we can wait. And we'll be happy to provide some BGM for your campaign. Too weak. They keep coming, buying time? Or spreading something. I must find the leader. Spectre. Ah, Skadi. Long time no see. Something the matter? Are you alright? I'm fine. Just a little tired. Yes, we're fighting, right? The scent of the ocean reminds me of home. But home? My home. The sea. The scent of the sea grows stronger. Are we home, Skadi? Is this the way home? It will be, Spectre. Laurentina, I promise. Tell me then, what's that before my eyes? What? A figure strides down the street, humming a tune. The streets are a mess in the aftermath of the panicking townsfolk, but it hardly bothers Frost as she plucks at the air and imagines music. The sea terrors keep away from her. No, they ignore her. Is she playing an instrument? Does it sound nice? I don't know. Then ask. Wait. Oh goody, Elysium's still alive. Did I shake him? Damn it! Was it when we first met? No, he didn't even touch me. Those documents must be destroyed, Iberian. Obey and you may keep your limbs attached if you prefer. Shit, he's fast. Weren't your friends only burning them because there was time to save them all? With your skills, you could just as easily have taken them for yourself. So why the need to burn them? Friends. The man growls from the bottom of his throat, a sound born of humiliation. We are not friends. Then what? It doesn't concern you. Surrender the documents and leave this place. Whether you're with the Inquisition or with another country. He stopped. Yes, you've always been sharp. The mysterious Aegir gazes into the distance. Friends. We may be bound by blood, but you may stay away from Aegir for now. Elysium evades the attack, but it's immediately clear why he managed to. The sword's aura rips the charred papers to shreds, sending the splintered truth drifting into the wind. Crap! They cannot return to Aegir just yet. Allowing everyone to act on their own will only accelerate the destruction. Even though Aegir has already chosen the path of self-annihilation. No more sea terrors approach. Unsurprising numbers for the coast. Now where are you hiding? You... No, not the lantern! Answer me. What do you intend for Grand Faro? That lantern! Get it off me! Answer me. Ugh. It's... What are you pointing at? Carmen looks back in the direction that the cultist is indicating. It's the statue. A statue stands in the middle of the square. Ah. Grand Faro, the great lighthouse. Of course, you're seeking the lighthouse of Grand Faro. Stop it! The nobles once called those great monuments the Eye of Iberia. Dozens of them once stood on Iberia's coastline. Even had the Witch King's tower in Lithanian had not been toppled, it would still have been dwarfed by these guardians of the sea. They are the single greatest mark that human civilization has ever left on this land. The sea. The Eye of Iberia. The miracle. Destroyed the sacrilege. Take that lantern away! The profound silence destroyed most of the lighthouses and disabled the rest. What are you plotting? I see, so you knew. You knew the one remained operational, that the goal of the Grand Pharaoh project was to protect what was left of the Eye of Iberia. That's why you've been lurking here, awaiting your chance. You... I never expected there to be traitors in the very heart of the Inquisition. Where are they? While you're here, babbling away, look under your feet and come face to face with your pathetic narrow-mindedness. What? The sea terrors are glowing? What is this luminescence? Get away from it! Monster! Melt down. Hello. Ding ling ling. There is a familiar scent on you. Do you know what it is? You know, I really don't know what sounds to make for these riffs. A pleasant melody. No, but not the one that I know. Then how does the one that you know go? When she prayed, the stars ceased to shimmer. When she wept, the night let out a smile. When she laments, the anguish sprawled upon her madness. A song of Aegir, a sad song. But I don't like it. It belongs in the past. It lacks passion and wallows in futile sentimentality, the same as Aegir itself. A shame. You've come home, Aegir. Home? Me? Sing. In song, you will rediscover yourself. Song? What memories will singing recall? Just sing. You will encounter your past. You must eventually find and face your destiny, or it will find you. That's how it has ever been since I left the ocean. What a strange woman, but I don't mind singing. Then sing. La la la, la la la. When she prays, the stars cease to shimmer. As always, there's such sorrow in your song. Who are you? I never imagined we'd meet again in such circumstances, Laurentina. Alright, what do we have? A warped mailbox with a strange device crammed into it. The words Wilderness Survival Module printed on the side in Aegirian seemingly slotting into the little handy. Who put it here, and what message are they trying to send to whom? Alright, Doctor, here's your newly obtained module. You can expect it in Little Handy. Active modules can assist us in better combating the Seaborn. Carry on exploring and get your hands on even more. Alright, melee operators have 40% healing effectiveness. Or ranged operators with max HP and defense. I'll go with the ranged one for now. Until the forward base finds a way to deal with the Nether Sea brand, it is inadvisable to rush ahead through this area. Alright, this node first then. Oh, and it's a mission that costs 0 sanity. Alright, you can also inspect and adjust the modules of Little Handy here. Okay, that's very convenient. And we only have Cardigan, so it's just a tutorial then, huh? Oh, and we have Quora as well. Oh, Gummy as well. Popcar. We're holding a special training drill today. Focus on upcoming enemies and combat environments we'll likely be facing. Though this is only a simulated battlefield based on frontline information provided by the Inquisition, it must be taken seriously. What are those wiggling tiles? That is the Nethersea brand. Some scholars are calling it a unique oceanic life form, but we still don't have too much information at present. Watch! This unusually shaped organism will spread to all adjacent tiles at fixed intervals. Alright, does it continue to spread or does it linger with these few tiles? Shoot! It spread under the enemy's feet! Be careful, some enemies can deal increased nervous impairment when on Nethersea brand. Instructor Doberman, the brand has spread to me. I can sort of hear this slippy noise. Take care. Nethersea brand will deal arts damage and nervous impairment to any operators deployed on its tiles. Can I retreat, please? It feels like my shoes are gonna melt and I can't stand up. Deploying operators on Nethersea brand is the only way to prevent its further spread. Any tiles without operators deployed will allow the brand to freely spread. I'll send a medic operator to back you up. Hang in there, Quora. There's another gap on the right side. Quick, block the Nethersea brand from spreading to the main battlefield. The rest is up to you now. Alright, so we just deploy Cardigan right here, and that's about it. And then Gummy and Popcar deal with the rest. Oops. Oops. I'm gonna have to do this again. Oopsie. Alright, let's just speed through that mission again. Thankfully, it costs nothing to do. Okay, so we need to use Popcar's skill. Or do we need to deploy Cardigan here? Okay, no, that's fine. That works. And then Gummy deals with the last one, and that's a 3-star. Alright.
Alright, this is gonna be the final node I'll deal with for the day, I think. Let's see, yep, we're gonna stick with this team. Don't feel like I need to change just yet.
先輩、私たちのことは気にせず、全体の指揮に専念してください。面倒だな。リンゴちゃん、今日もよろしくね。私の武器は。
Alright, we'll go and deploy thorns here. Just so there's no spread around here. Well, at least this way. And then we'll just make sure he has some form of healing as well. I will put Ifrit down here. Alright, a bit more deployment points, and then Myrtle can go, and you know what? Actually, no. We will put down Horn. And then, yeah, we should be fine at this point. Alright, easy. Alright, we'll go through this last cutscene and I'll call it a day. Exactly as the reports say, such a curious creature. Easy now, no need to get excited. It seems you understand human speech. There are parasites living on the sea terrors, but I've never seen them on land before. The Iberians call it the Nethersea brand. An eerie glow has been occasionally seen off the coast of Iberia since the profound silence, the earliest known instance dating back to 17 years ago. Our scientists believe it to be some sort of algal bloom. So have the Aegir also encountered these unsettling things? Seldom, but the Academy's garden has no shortage of luminescent ornamental plants. So the Aegir do know of what the word ornamental means. Nethersea brand, an apt name. It is the sea leaving its mark on the land. At its heart, its spread is no different from the sea terrors we saw at Salviento. Do you mean to say this phenomenon is but another form of their evolution? I see the biologists of Iberia are lacking in many ways. We've encountered some complications, but this is far from the worst-case scenario. The Inquisition has noted an alarming increase in the variety of sea terrors, but most notably at Coastline 3, where after a mere 4 or 5 days our enemies were unrecognizable. As I said, the ocean encroaches upon the land in its own way. Now, there's an operator from Rhodes Island I must rescue. I'll accompany you. No, it will be more expedient for you to work with the hunters to eliminate the threat as quickly as possible. I'd assumed Iberia would treat her with more caution. Indeed, she should be,
But for now, we have a clearer enemy to deal with. What will you do, Consul of Aegir? Continue to bicker over your country's pride? 10 minutes. I'll take care of everything and meet up with my hunters. Then we can talk about how to reach that lighthouse. I'll remain here then. Law has been absent from this chapel for far too long, but thankfully someone has been polishing it. It will be the only light in this war. The Iberian Inquisition is here, even if it is I alone. Hey, what's going on? Thiago, where are you? The Church of the Deep's cultists appeared out of nowhere, and the town's covered in monsters. Oh, and... And what? Why did they attack the town? Where's Amaya? Did the town monsters harm you? They didn't harm anyone. They're just fighting an Inquisitor. No one told the Inquisition, I swear. They showed up not long after we found the carcass in the square. It might have been their work in the first place, now that I think of it. What's going on, Uncle? Oh, good afternoon there. You look... Geordie, come with me. Uncle? Quiet. Thiago, it wasn't us. We couldn't have contacted the Inquisition in such a short time, no matter how fast we were. I know. We need to protect Geordie and explain things. Maybe someone went to them earlier. A week ago, a month ago, who knows? Rumors of cultists have been spreading for a while now. It wasn't me, or my husband. Could it be Juan? Maybe the Inquisition found him. You knew Juan was a member of the Church of the Deep? Well, when did you find out? Geordie, go! All right. Thiago! Oh, he's gone. Never mind him. What about the town? I don't know. The Inquisitor and the outsiders are fighting the monsters. There's nothing more we can do about it. The Inquisitor will be coming for us once he's done. Surely not. Wait, what are you thinking? The best case scenario would be both sides taking each other out. What? You can't possibly be serious. Think about it. Have we really lost that many people to sea terrors? Compared to how much damage the Inquisition has done over the years. But... When they come for you, can you prove that you're not a cultist? What are we supposed to do then? If the Inquisitor can really kill that many sea terrors, the only way to avoid suspicion would be to hand over someone even more suspicious. For example, an Aegir linked to the Church of the Deep. Oh dear, are they going to try and frame Geordie? 1, 2... The others have pulled out, but Admire is nowhere to be seen. Both an Inquisitor and the Abyssal Hunters. I've only heard them mentioned in passing by Amaya. Here on land, though, they're not as troublesome as the Inquisitor. Find Amaya, take her, and delay the Abyssal Hunters. Go. Our siblings have fallen. We are the last ones standing. The Inquisition must not be allowed to take any more of our comrades. Geordie, hurry! Okay. What's happened to the town? Are those sea terrors too? It's the Inquisition. Maybe a High Inquisitor seeing how he's come to uproot a church hideout all by himself. Sea terrors and cultists have appeared in Grand Faro. There's no explaining this away. Take this, lad, and the lamp your father left you. Keep them safe. You're not a child anymore, Geordie Fontana Rosa. I've told you everything. This is your last chance to embrace a new life. I always wanted to tell you the truth. Convince you to leave, but I know, Uncle. You're like a father to me. Grand Faro is our home. If I leave here, I won't have anything left. It was going to happen sooner or later. All the young folks want to leave. You're the exception. I'll go with you. Sea terrors are dangerous, but I know how to deal with them. This is our last chance to slip past the Inquisitors, though. What's that sound? The door? Huh? You! Not even sea terrors eat people, but you people have no such qualms. Say something, Pytor, Manuel. I know it's you out there. Cowards! What's going on? They've blocked the door. What? But why? Because you're an Aegir. They must have surrounded the place. We'll go up to the attic and leave through the roof. Do I know you? Look at you, Laurentina. What happened to your nun's habit? You looked so good in it. Ah, you found where you belonged, right? The Abyssal Hunters found you, and they want you to bring you home? Laurentina. My name is Laurentina. The name of the vast creation's master. What is this vast creation's master? The ocean, or its avatar. Something's not right with your state of mind. You shouldn't be so... Oh, were you awake? When you killed Quintus, for instance? Quintus? You touched the sea, but did not immediately proceed to Aegir. I thought your people longed for home. Or do you have somebody on land gently guiding you? Why did we have to reunite under such circumstances, Laurentina? Your hands are so cold. There was a time when there was no secrets between us. Now, though... Spectre! When you remember my name, come and find me. If you still remember this conversation, that is. If your mind is your own, then, I will tell you the whole truth. Farewell, Laurentina. Ah. Who was that? I don't know, but she seems to know me? She has no scent. She's not seaborn, at least not like Quintus. We don't have time for her. Clean up the sea terrors and we'll group with the captain. Hey, there aren't any sea terrors around here, are they? Only dead ones. It's so quiet here. Did the Inquisition take care of them all? All the better. Come help me shut them inside. Somebody, go fetch the Inquisitor. Alright, it's blocked. But why are we doing this to Mayor Thiago when everything's such a mess right now? Because we're all off to the gallows when things stop being a mess. Unless we do something about it. Go check out the chapel and get someone from the Inquisition. Me? But what if there's still some monsters? Huh? Is there someone on the roof? What? It's Jordi and Thiago! Get them! Don't let them get away! Run! I know! Get out of town, and don't let the Inquisitors or those bastards catch you. Alright. Keep running north. There's a messenger station there that might still be in operation. Alright. I put some money in your bag. Get out of town. Get out of the country. Alright. Jordi! I am listening. Thiago's footsteps slow down. He looks on as the young Aegir runs desperately down the street. Run! Do not look back. Keep running. That's right. Get out of here. Never look back. No, Thiago! Don't die! No! Don't let them out of town! You are right, lad. This is our home, and no amount of waiting or complaining will change that. Farewell, my child. Thiago! Where's the Aegir? Coward! What the hell are you doing? You'll doom us all! We'll all be branded as heretics by the Inquisition, just like the old days. Are you more afraid of the Inquisition than the Sea Terrors? More afraid of your own people than monsters? We already lost everything to the Inquisition once. Do you want that to happen again? Pah! Your fist is like rubber. Wait, what's that? They're still here? I've got to get back to the chapel. The Inquisitors will protect me. Take that, you coward! Are you mad? Don't you see the Sea Terrors? What about the Sea Terrors? Did Sea Terrors eat Grand Pharaoh? No, it was you people. You're worse than the profound silence. You've slaughtered compassion with selfishness, whitewashed your own cowardice, and blamed the disaster on the Aegir. No, the monsters! They're getting closer! Screw it, nutjob! I don't have time for this! Of course, you coward! When they took Marin, when they took the Aegir, you were right under the barrow of the penal battalion. Murderer! Don't think the rest of us are gonna humor you just because you fell in love with an Aegir way back when. Come at me, coward! You'll get it from me! And the sea monster's just watching. The two men become increasingly bloodied as they pummeled each other, while sea terrors rush by, ignoring them entirely. They looked decidedly out of place. Thiago? Uncle Thiago? Uncle? Why? I have to go back. Stop right there, Aegir. Yes. The last Aegir of Grand Pharaoh. The last descendant of Briogan. What? The Sea Terrors would kill you, and the Inquisition would imprison you. Come with me. I need you. Are you one of them? The ones commanding the monsters? No. I seek a lost legend, one that caught the attention of even the Academy. Yet his most important legacy is neither the lighthouse nor his ship, but his descendant. You might be the final clue I'm seeking. I don't know what you're talking about. That man, Thiago, is not your father. Who are your parents? Your grandparents? My parents? They went missing, in search of the Eye of Iberia. As cruel as it is, your misfortune is what gives you the chance to become the salvation of Aegir. Come with me. I'd prefer not to use force against kin. This is all coming out of nowhere. Come with me. What's going on? Quiet, bro. I'm saving your life. Let's go. A smoke bomb. I shouldn't have let you get away. What's the point of running away with him? You know nothing, liver eye. You're right, Aegir. There are many mysteries here. Oh, it's Kaltz. Oh, it's another Inquisitor. Transgressor, you will answer my questions, or you will never leave this place. I hope you're smart enough to recognize this fact. Good. Looks like we've shaken him off. It was the right choice to grab you when the Inquisitor drew near. They aren't fighting right now, are they? Hello? Oh, sorry. I need to go back to town. Wouldn't recommend it. Most of the Sea Terrors are gone, but something doesn't feel right, and I can't get in touch with Dr. Kaltzit. Plus, you were planning to leave, weren't you? No. I heard that the Inquisitors came to town, and Uncle Thiago was worried I'd be taken away. The Inquisition, huh? What did that guy want with you anyway? Sorry, you don't have to talk if you don't want to. I'll need a bit of time to decide whether to go back to town and find Dr. Kaltzit, or get you out of here first. I'll go with you. You sure? Your uncle was so desperate to get you out. If the Inquisition is coming, I doubt I'll be able to escape. Is that duty worth giving up your life for? Huh? What do you... So you're going back to Grand Pharaoh just out of some vague sense of duty, without even a clear goal? You've got to be kidding me. If I were you, I'd leave this place along with any townsfolk who don't want to get involved, and soon. This isn't like running into a swarm of originium slugs while camping out in the woods. I hate to say it, but ordinary people can't do a thing here. I just got a feeling there has to be something left for me to do. I grew up here. listening to those legends, gazing at the coastline, reading my parents' notes. I don't want my farewell to be like this. This place is my home. Okay, how much more do we have here? Okay, well, I'll open a few more of these nodes and I'll call it a day. The factory has been abandoned for many years, the skeletons of incomplete ships scattered among mechanical giants, like corpses rotting into the wilderness. Their flesh and blood plucked away, this factory came to life along with Grand Faro itself. Its ambitious builders are certainly unable to imagine that things would end this way. Alright, let's search the factory. Pretty much anything of value has already been whisked away, but the collectors over the years seem to have overlooked the toolbox in the corner. Hidden inside the toolbox in the corner are several blueprints and a notepad. The blueprints, signed by Chief Naval Architect Biogan, depict a massive battleship, the magnum opus of Iberia's golden age before calamity struck. But both Grand Faro and this factory were born after the calamity, and the ships slated to be built here were nothing more than laughable toys compared to even the smallest in the fleet. The engineers here still carry with them blueprints of things that can no longer be brought into being. Are they meant for technical reference, or are they merely holding on to a beautiful dream? Funnily enough, even this parody of the Golden Age is filled with nothing but corpses. Ooh, more items. This place may have been inhabited by Aegir Islanders, as the signboard bears faintly visible patterns, distinct from the Iberian style. Now it is completely uninhabited, and when the previous inhabitants left, they lacked the time to even take their supplies with them. Alright, and what's the final node? Judging from the equipment remaining amidst the embers, this newly burnt down house was a secret research facility not too long ago. The Church of the Deep cultists were trying to uncover the secret of evolution. They seem to possess academic curiosity as well, not just blind faith. Alright, let's check the specimen storage. The samples in the specimen storage escape a fiery fate. Right, can we get the other item as well? Do the other option? Nope, more dialogue. The specimen storage contains a staggering number of samples, including photographs, anatomical diagrams, and tissue cross-sections. Some of these species have never been observed in the evolutionary record. The promise of an evolutionary end goal is so enticing and so real that it can drive the brightest minds to work towards it day and night, sacrificing themselves. How did the cultists feel towards the creatures they worshipped, when their scalpels sliced into the flesh of the sea terror? Did they feel the same pain as if their own skin was being cut? Or will humanity's curiosity eventually supersede faith? Alright, is this a... Oh, more cutscene. Alright, this looks like the end of the area. We might as well see this through to the end. On the long road beside the ocean, the representatives of two civilizations speak herein. I arrived in this new land from my maritime home. There is no end to ghastly shock here. Not a break in the tragic weave. The clouds are far from as fine as told in legend, and both the land and sky are wrath-bitten and hurting. Cities comparable to Aegir are all but prey to catastrophe. Moreover, the people of this dry land are plagued by an inscrutable sickness. I had learnt of oropathy, of originium, from many an academic record. Seeing it firsthand, though, The truth of how it has become an integral part of the land, its roots deep and stubborn, is made witheringly apparent. Nevertheless, they still tenaciously live, pursue both technology and truth through their unique means, and seek to leave the mark of their continued existence. Though I am a lambasted traitor, I do not regret my decision to come ashore. The seaborne swarm is expanding. Within a decade, Aegir will find itself besieged with no quarter. But someday, I will complete my travels and return to Iberia. I will leave this memoir behind for the Aegir to seek and decipher. I have no faith in the nobility. I am certain that those Aegir termed islanders today will find Iberia withdrawing its respect for them soon enough, whatever the reasons may be. The Golden Dreadnought, the Eye of Culture, the jurisprudence of evolution, the stale of life, the ocean and land must form a united front to withstand billowing waves. It was never my intent to serve as a pioneer. All I am is one step ahead of of fate. From a copy of the notes of Briogan, famed Iberian architect and chief shipwright, written in cryptic Aegirian. This is a matter between the Aegir. So long as you stand on Iberian soil, the law is watching you, and so am I. What is the relationship between you and those three abyssal hunters? You've harmed Skadi. Strange. Surely she intended to avoid combat. Her blood is a special sort, more special than the rest of ours. I hope you've been diligent in cleaning your weapons. I'm the one asking questions here, and I'm the one who decides whether to answer. I gather the only hunters granted freedom of movement by Lord Carmen were those who declared their interest during the Salviento conflict. Seems it wasn't a coincidence you crossed swords with her then. She was hardly weak. Weak? What a naive appraisal. She's just unaccustomed to dry land. She lacks flexibility. Don't move, Aegir. Comply with the High Inquisitor's investigation. The Inquisition has already concluded negotiations with the Hunters. Your every move merely undermines the basis of our cooperation. Cooperation? I advise you to rethink your actions. Inquisitor, how many soldiers like you does Iberia have? That is none of your business. Enough to a massive army of 3,000 strong. Then Iberia is still unqualified. You're going nowhere. What? Where did they come from? High Inquisitor, are you alright? I'm fine. That Aegir. That was my fault, sir. He could easily have used that chance to take an arm from me, yet he chose to flee. It seems we can't afford to give chase just yet. They're headed for the city. They're hiding in the soil. No. This entire swath of earth has been polluted. How can that be? Take a good look at that grey land, and the sinister miasma filling it. Yes, sir. Grand Faro is not being infiltrated by the Church of the Deep. It has already fallen to them. Prepare to fight head-on, and ensure Lord Carmen is safe, ASAP. This fluorescent Nethersea brand, it's akin to their own city. It beggars belief they're not born from it. They proliferate and migrate through it. Not all lives thirst for independence. It's no wonder these filthy things were able to hide in this town. But who brought them ashore? Well, this is just perfect, and here we thought we could find a little inspiration on our beats trip. Talk about a total wash. Ring! The sea's caressing the land, I can tell. This is bad gone badder. Kaltsit once said the Aegir won, and that the Abyssal Hunters are the orphans of that battle. With how things look now, I'm starting to doubt there was ever a win. Oh, speaking of Kaltsit, did she give us the thing? Yep. Way to beat around the bush. Why didn't she just give it straight to that Aegir? Gladia. That would have been faster. Ref. She wanted to use the key to draw us into this, and from that view, she definitely succeeded. Or maybe she was originally planning to make us retrieve or help out with something, and then she changed her mind. Huh? Hasn't she always been like 300 steps ahead? What could possibly force her to change her mind? I'm just saying it's possible. Sure, she knows a lot of things, but more than that, she's cautious. If not, how many times would she have died by now? What are you dancing around for, Dan? This chapel would work great for a concert. Skadi. Shark. We wiped out every enemy we could see. Formless wisps of waves are spreading here, as the tide on sandy shores. An inauspicious omen. We should not be here. It seems cleaning up some trash wasn't enough to bring her back to her senses. What do we do? Once this area is spotless, we will borrow the Iberians' assistance in finding that ship. There are things we don't recognize on their bodies. Perhaps a part of the Sea Terrors themselves. I've been wondering for a while now. How can they still evolve so fast? How are they still so full of life? Even though we've already... That's precisely the question we intend to shed light on. It is also the reason I was willing to cooperate with Kaltsit. Dr. Kaltsit. A fine woman, to be sure. Rouse yourself, Hunter. End this before the sun sinks below. Sea terrors who cannot hear the ocean's call are but inferior life forms. Understood. You, Gladia? You've come. I will listen then. Shark. Do you find it unwieldy in your hands? This? I often forget the weapon that is in my grasp, as if I'm dancing with it. This is your past, and it has almost caught up to you. We will be waiting. You lead a punctual march, Dario. Have you arranged what I asked of you? Yes, Lord. The Penal Battalion has readied a ship to leave for the Eye of Iberia. They've also evacuated the coast and surrounded this town by now. Those misguided fools have nowhere to flee. There's nothing to fear in those petty villains, but the new threat they've brought forth is an astonishing one. Our technology is able to treat this much pollution, which is only temporary victory, Dario, as this is Aegir technology, not ours. If for every second of every minute, every droplet and every grain of the tide beating against our sandy shores spreads the sea terrors and their ecology, how are we to defend our homeland then? We will find an answer before that happens. Yes, most assuredly. The Inquisition is also prepared to do battle with the Abyssal Hunters. We will throttle them to death on this remote shoreline. A fitting cemetery. We can only hope they make the wise choice, and that Kaltsit can accomplish what she pledged to do. So this is your apprentice, then? I'm familiar with her from her work. Yes, Inquisitor Irene, reporting in, Lord Carmen. They say that when Dario found you in the ruins, a thick tome of classics had lodged itself in the beams of the caving roof. A miraculous equilibrium that saved your life. Yes, sir! Young one, are you here only because Dario has determined that you have the will to rush onto the front line? Yes, sir! There is an immaturity to you, but you are eager to prove yourself. Your body is filled with vigor and tenacity. But your duties in Grand Ferraro will be no easier than in Salviento. From here on, you will only be plunging ever deeper into the heart of evil. Are you prepared? For Iberia's orderliness and integrity, I shall raise my sword and my lantern. To me, this motto is more than just a rallying cry. She will be prepared. I trust your judgment, but fate does not often give its people time to prepare. Dr. Calcit and I have matters to attend to still. The mission of guiding the Abyssal Hunters back to the Eye of Iberia is now yours. The Eye of Iberia? High Inquisitor, what exactly is our task? Establish a camp, safeguard the route, and ensure that our maintenance teams can safely reach the lighthouse. The last piece of the Eye of Iberia is 50 nautical miles out from the nearest coast to Grand Faro. Assuming, of course, that it's still where the maps indicate. 50 nautical miles. Once our fleet could gaze far across the surface of the tranquil sea. But since the profound silence, the ocean has become like a boiling poison, melting all who touch it. This is a daunting mission, but recapturing this final lighthouse is of tremendous importance to our people. Understood, sir. It is for that reason we require Aegir's assistance. You are skeptical. She has been to see the Inquisition's underground cages, so you have witnessed the truth of the Inquisition's search, in spite of the fact it cannot obtain an answer. Go, young Inquisitor. Time will not wait, but if necessary, I will have you put time itself on trial. Oh my goodness, there's still more! Watch out! You okay there? I'm fine. Sorry, Mr. Elysium. I'm being a drag on us again. Don't you mind it. Those sea terrors. Identical wounds, pounded into holes in 2s and 3s. This style has to be Scotty and the girls. This town's been wrecked through and through. Yeah. Whoa, hold it, Geordie. What is this? Fluorescent creepers? Floating creatures? Or is it coral? This stuff is covering the whole street ahead. Hold on, something's coming out of the roofs. Move! Wait. No way. They already have nests here? I thought the Church of the Deep guys or just sicked them on the town. And wait, could they seriously have just been born? This many? How fast does it go? Geordie! Oh, I'm here. Ditch, take a 180 and run for it. But they're behind us too, Mr. Elysium. Ugh, these monsters build nests faster than the freaking Undertide gloom pincers did. Then it's do or die. Hey, Geordie, find something, anything. You gotta weaponize. Will an umbrella do? Yeah, sure. Looks like we're in for some rain. Hold on to that thing like you mean it. Get ready. Oh, and saved by Calcit. Burn it all, together with the buildings. It would seem Aegir technology isn't necessary to treat the Nethersea brand. Dr. Calcit! Good to see you're in one piece. What happened? And who was this somewhat despondent-seeming Aegir? Outstanding strength, hunters. Spare us your remarks. Let us hasten to the topic at hand. Calcit has recently suffered quite the ordeal on your behalf. The aid she has given us will be forever carved into my memory, while what you've done, I will likewise never forget. But this present situation is by her arrangement. A small coastal town, a simple meeting. Then in honor of her efforts, May we set aside our grievances and begin the discussion. What you seek is Briogan's legacy. You will want to find the Sultifera. Sultifera Navis, the ship of fools? Wasn't that the flagship of the fleet wiped out in the profound silence? But how many years has it been? What most piques my curiosity is how a foreigner can be so sure that it remains afloat. Then, from the Iberian point of view, do you believe it to be sunk or not? In all likelihood, it isn't. However, it has not once returned to port. A ship, unsunk for over 60 years, yet never returned to dry land's harbour. Can your people determine its position? We could once, but not now. In other words, Gladia looks to the statue beside them. She has no recollection of such buildings. Perhaps they had already died their silent deaths before she came ashore. The Eye of Iberia. Those wonders were once the cornerstone of a magnificent project, but most of the lighthouses that formed the Eye perished in the profound silence, but only one remains. It does not belong to you. It belongs to Aegir. Briogan was indeed an Aegir, and he came from the ocean, but his devotion was selfless. He made ample contribution to Iberia's sea explorations. After the disaster, you let your citizens pour their rage upon the Aegir, upon him. Indulging such folly paints you in an untrustworthy light. Yet, are the Aegir able to swear no implication in the profound silence? Wars will be the death of us all. If the two of you are so determined to continue this conversation, then both Iberia and Aegir are as good as destroyed. Civilizations do not die, they are merely endlessly replaced, but the next time it happens, humanity will have no hand in it. Dr. Calcit, please, mind your tongue with Lord Carmen. I do not mind. We've certainly known each other long enough, but is this your usual method, Calcit? Surgically extracting the key individuals from the gargantuan body of fate, sitting them down in front of you, and convincing them of the righteousness of your idea? My idea is simply to save you. Iberia is free to refuse, as is Aegir. If we count the untested young lady, then there are 6 at the table, 3 each for both the Inquisition and the Hunters. The town square itself is an Iberian marvel constructed by an Aegir. It could not be more appropriate for such a conference. At this very moment, the Nether Sea brand is still spreading. The Sea Terrors have built a nest in town. Then their existence takes a vastly different form than before. A difference drastic enough to cause alarm. If none present yet recognize the scale of this oceanic threat, then perhaps we should really adjourn. We can watch as the precious time brought by the sacrifice of the Abyssal Hunters is whiled away for nothing. Was our victory meaningful? Of course, without it, then after the profound silence, Iberia would not even have a deathbed to struggle upon. As for you, Lord Carmen, I hope you can put your pride aside your prejudices against the Aegir. Use your... I'm so very old now, Calcit. Let's get to the point, shall we? I've aged past the inclination to win every argument, as well as the strength to uphold glory through speeches. There is no greater glory than survival, and no one sees the situation clearer than I. You may rescind your words. The Inquisition is willing to fully cooperate with the Abyssal Hunters in finding the lost dreadnought. The Golden Dreadnought? I have no objections. I wouldn't have thought that contact between Aegir and Iberia would have given you pause. Contact? Ah, if you could breathe underwater, if you could visit our cities without the aid of equipment, then I would not mind showing you the true display of Aegir's technology. We look forward to it, Madam Consul. A tertio of the Penal Battalion will immediately shore several dual-use warships at Grand Faro, establishing a camp, and clean up the harbor in preparations. Dario, Irene, we go with the Abyssal Hunters. Prioritize securing a sea route to the Eye of Iberia. Pass your judgment on arrival. As you command. Calcit, should time be of the essence, I will prioritize re-establishing contact with Aegir. A voyage to the deep sea is a treacherous affair to us all, but for you, it will simply be a trip back home. You will find that ship, and you will find a way back to Aegir. I leave the details to your discretion. Perhaps it will be in the far future when we next meet. So long as you remember our words, we hope that once you returned, you will be able to re-evaluate all that Aegir has suffered. Then let us make haste, we will. Sorry, Dr. Calcit. Ever since that part about the lighthouse, Geordie's been... The Aegir, perfect. I have much to ask you. Wait. Who are you? I'm a resident of this town. My name is Geordie. There shouldn't be any Aegir in Grand Pharaoh. Our dossier says there are records of collusion between Aegir and the Church of the Deep. Who are your parents? My parents were lighthouse technicians. They gave their lives for the Eye of Iberia. My lighthouse is filled with dusty blueprints. I may have never actually seen the lighthouse, but I want to. The meaning of my homeland. The meaning of my parents' lifelong struggle. You may not. The Inquisition must first interrogate you. And why should I consider protecting a feeble civilian in the melee? What if he were a descendant of Briogan? What? It looks nothing like the photographic records of Briogan. Even if it's true, we should be demanding he turn over what's left of his family's legacy and let the Inquisition take over the research. High Inquisitor! What is your name, Aegir? Geordie Fontana Rosa. My uncle told me that. Then you should know what awaits you for voluntarily appearing before the Inquisition. I know. Irene. Yes, sir. Seize him. And take him with you. Yes, what? That was what you wished for, was it not? Thank you, Lord. Nevertheless, my greatest hope is to see true, endearing cooperation between Aegir and Iberia. Even the longest journey starts with a single step. Then we don't have a moment to lose. We will let the Eye of Iberia gaze upon the desolate sea once again. A long voyage is extremely dangerous. You need to head out of the Cold Reef port first and make ample preparations. The calamity completely reshaped Iberia's coastline, and the majestic harbour built more than 70 years ago sank into the sea without a trace. It goes without saying, Cold Reef Port cannot hold a candle to it. Though small, it still reserves a few berths for massive ships. In reality, those ships would never return to port. Alright, let's prepare to board. A few of the small vessels prepared beforehand by the Penal Battalion are moored at the port. When they set sail into the sea for the first time, they will face completely unknown winds and waves. After the plan to build Grand Pharaoh was put on hold, Cold Reef Port was almost never used. The few voyages in the port's records were mostly small-scale search missions carried out by the Inquisition and the Penal Battalion. Nobody ever returned from those expeditions. Today, this long since lonely port will finally see off another ship from its embrace. Its crew will set out to find the Eye of Iberia that is still looking out over the ocean. The Penal Battalion prepared the boat in advance, the old dock worker carrying out work he was unfamiliar with, loading the vessel with supplies for the voyagers. The boat slowly left the port, disappearing from the people's sight. The dock worker thought to himself that he might never get the chance to send off another ship in his few remaining years. Alright, more items. Alright. The warehouse holds supplies designated for the next voyage. The only problem? Nobody knows what it will be, or if it will ever happen. We need to defeat 18 Nether Sea predators, and we've only killed 10. So we'll come back here later. Alright, let's move on. Nobody knows why this lighthouse survived the disaster, but perhaps it is because no matter how terrifying the winds and waves may be, nothing can stop people from gazing towards the sea. Iberia's eyes will never close, only be temporarily clouded over. Okay, I'm gonna blow my nose one more time, and hopefully this is the end of this area. I like that. I should have finished a bit earlier, but I think I can finish like all of this section in one stream. Alright, give me a moment, folks. Alright, let's continue this node. Oh, whoops. Camera. There we go. Yeah, let's observe this last cutscene over here. Hopefully it's the last cutscene for this area. Oh, what is this disgusting floor? What's happening? Is it the sea terrors? Thiago. Amaya. What's going on? Didn't you say those Church of the Deep cultists wouldn't show up? They've made a complete mess of the place. Thiago, I came to say goodbye. What? It's about time for me to, and the opportunity is hard to come by now. That's all it is. I don't understand. Thiago, the Inquisitors are here, a whole 3 of them. Jordy's in their hands. God! Don't, Thiago. Jordy came back by his own will, and what can you do against 3 Inquisitors? Does he know what it means to be found by the Inquisition? You've told him so many times that I'd be shocked if he didn't. But that's how people are. Reason might tell us to take every advantage and avoid the opposite, but people are complicated and you can't judge that so easily. I wouldn't call Geordie a fool for his choice. Now's not the time to argue over morality. This is his nature we're talking about. Character, not morality. Mayor Thiago. There's a certain beauty in human nature. Even time can't deny that. What are you getting at? Do you hate the Inquisition? The sea terrors have blanketed this town. But remember, Thiago, remember. Remember that rainy night when the penal battalion charged into town, breaking down doors. The unending screams drowned out the pitter-patter of the rain. No, stop! And now? The sea's brand is spreading across town. Have you heard any screams? Have you seen anyone being senselessly slaughtered or hunted down? You haven't. Right now, all that remains in Gran Faro is stillness. I never knew that the ocean was so vast. The sea breeze blows past. Geordie cannot believe what's before his eyes. He had always thought that the sea's horizon was the sky's end. Not until witnessing this boundless expanse of waves for himself does Geordie the Aegir have a sudden question. Why has humanity never desired to explore this? How can we ever determine our position out here? It's not as if the moons are signal beacons or the stars could be read like a map. Why can't we read the stars like a map? Ask a professional astronomer and find out. Then, if Aegir really is under the water, then how big is it? Bigger than Iberia? There's a handful of genuine Aegir over there. How about you ask them? They seem like they have their own worries, though. They're all so solemn. Shark, what are you listening to? The wind. There's an offering of kin mingled with the sea breeze. It puts me as much at ease. She gets more like this the closer we are to the sea. Even though in Salviento she was so... Do you know why? I could guess, but it would only disturb your judgment. We have a battle before us. Did you ever attempt to return to the sea after your narrow escape to the shore? Of course, I failed. There was no end to them. They surrounded me, and I ran out of strength before I could even swim far. I tried so many times. But you're still alive. We're all aware of the changes in our bodies, Skadi, you included. Shark may have suffered some injury, but none of my hunters are so fragile. And she's the same as us. Spectre, once a victim of the Church of the Deep, Originium, absent in the ocean, has affected her in a whole host of ways. Why bring along such an uncertain element? We are going home. It does not concern you. Home? But circumstances in Aegir can hardly be better than in Iberia. Raise your lantern, Inquisitor. Let's prepare to greet our first enemies. Oh, they've come. One final question. Are there really only 3 abyssal hunters? If there were others, I would have long since found them. What compels you to ask? Is this ship's course true? Undoubtedly. Then the sea terrors are becoming more explicitly hostile as we approach the Eye of Iberia. Perhaps it is already their nest. Fighting them aboard this ship would waste far too much time. Skadi, Shark, defend this vessel. Keep an eye on the primitive signal navigation facilities while you're at it. I will enter the sea. I'll go with you. You are stronger in the sea, but so are they, and we cannot bleed down there. The risk is too high. What's wrong? Are there monsters attacking again? No, I can't see any. We don't know what's happening under the water, but... That muffled booming. What's going on down there? Is she fighting below? No. She's just moving. She's faster in the water. How can anyone move faster through water than air? Habit, I guess. Or maybe it's a skill.
The sea terrors are following her. She's opened up the passage. Irene, take Ryogan's descendant and continue to steer. Pick up speed before the enemy surrounds us.
They've left. The seas won't be peaceful.
If you worry for them, we'd best hurry and finish up our business. Grand Faro is only an outpost to recapture the lighthouse. Retaking it is all that matters.
I'm surprised that Iberia can already exploit Aegir technology to resist the encroaching Nebsea brand.
Regardless, the rate of its evolution is faster than any one scientist's genius. If we seek victory, we must use whatever we can.
Even an army, I see.
This is a plan, a plane, an unremarkable town. Perhaps there are more strategic locations waiting for the Inquisition to recapture them one by one. More favorable battlefields, grander walls and fortifications. But sometimes it's fine to start with what's at hand. However many Iberians are willing to fight to the death against the waves, that is how many soldiers we can field. Let's begin the cleanup.
Hey, are we still not there yet? According to the nautical map, we should be able to at least see it by now. High Inquisitor, we have to head deeper in, or else...
No. Look up.
What? It's nothing but black overhead. I can't see... No, that's not the sky.
They've made it their nest by now, very close to the shore. No wonder their numbers are so great.
We can just cut them all down, like before. Yes, like before. Shark? So that is their eye? Why does it feel so familiar? It has been caked in filth for too long, unable to open its lid.
I'll clear a path. Geordie, come with us.
Okay. I hope I can be of help.
No, there's something only you can do. If you can't, then we'll have to change strategies and prioritize ensuring that the Inquisition's technicians can make it here safely. And in the battle to come, we'll have no time to care for the fate of a slipstick Aegir.
Got it.
You seem nervous. Aegir, you don't understand what finally reaching this island again signifies for us.
And what would that be? Ever since the Penal Battalion discovered remnant signals from the lighthouse, we've made 17 attempts to make landfall, 8 of which succeeded in setting foot on this reef. Hundreds of soldiers and 3 inquisitors, no one returned alive. Don't tell me your superior Aegir ethics teach you to respect your heroes, but forsake their memory. The High Inquisitor and I, the Iberians, will hold a memorial for those who died at sea.
I did not mean to pick at your morals. All I can say is that in the face of the ocean, we are all alone and weak.
Do as you wish, but we are pressed for time.
A foot falls on the reef. A colossus hides in the jet-black winds. Only by tilting one's head back and gazing far up can distinguish it from the murky sky. The Eye of Iberia. A final pair of eyes sealed shut.
So tall. The scale of that statue in town has to be wrong. High Inquisitor. This is what we want.
It is. My first time seeing it as well. The two remain silent for a moment, dead in their tracks as they look over this vast spectacle that survived only in documents and records. The enduring reality of Iberia goes far beyond what she was taught, Irene thinks. Despite the Abyssal Hunters' ample disdain for them, despite the balance of the nation well and truly crumbled, despite it all,
This lighthouse is an emblem of past glory and wild ambition, of dreams and the domination of the unknown. Whatever feelings may roil in your heart at this moment, engrave them all. This building, these worn swords and lanterns, these reefs, this ocean. Carve into your heart just what humanity has built in its struggle. Keep it with you forever, at all times. If we do not venerate our sacrifices, our scales are meaningless.
Yes, sir.
Enter carefully.
Got it.
Wow, it's just standing on its lonesome, huh?
What are you doing? Have we come home? No, not yet. But if we find what Calcit and the captain are looking for here, maybe we can. Just hold on. We're almost there. It's too quiet. But it still stinks. Yes, the reef is coated in remnant Nethersea brand. I can see traces of man-made objects too, rotted for the most part.
Gladia paces slowly. She looks up at the tower, standing against the tenebrous sky. The eye of Iberia is directed towards the heavens, as if upon this finite soil, life cranes its neck, wanting to see the future. The nations of the land have done all they can to reproduce Briogan's remaining legacy. These so-called lighthouses are an emulation of Aegir technology through and through. What can this lighthouse be awaiting, sat in this void and empty sea? Does it watch the ocean or the land, I wonder? Captain, I know. Within is a sea terror nest. The lack of an immediate attack may merely be defensive, a guardian of the den. It is about time they come. There's not too many. The coast is already out of sight. Sentimental? No, I just mean we can't bleed here. It will be extremely dangerous. They can't pierce our skin. So long as you do not cease your dance, these numbers are insufficient to kill us. The lighthouse. It really is just like the statue in town. Which means those blueprints at home really were from my mother and father, for the Eye of Iberia. My parents were once in this very place. Geordie looks back towards the shore. Each and every day his mind went back to his view of that overcast shore, a lifeless grey and hopeless crowd. Look at this lighthouse, he thinks. Uncle Thiago was right. They were all heroes. They were all meant to be legends. The Abyssal Hunters should be regrouping not far from here. They will be joining this battle too. Don't forget what you experienced in Salviento. Their blood is highly unusual, and Calcit hardly told us everything.
Understood. So they can't be trusted.
What do you see beneath the Inquisition?
Seaborn.
You should still remember their twistedness, their vitality, their serenity. In Salviento, the hunters did battle such a monster and emerged victorious.
I know that.
You've seen the truth, so now you must reassess your past and Iberia. Tear apart the old swimming through your head. Make your own judgments.
Yes, sir.
They're ready for us. Withdraw to defend their nests. Waiting for the chance to strike. Here to drive off the invaders. Geordie, report.
Right. It's a miracle, really. These control panels outside are still responding, but I'm not sure what theory these things are based on. I'm looking, though. I have all those research notes from my home with me in my bag.
Be quick about it.
I know. Is this one? No, that's not it. When did this one get wet? High Inquisitor, they're here.
The billows rage forth. Their arrogance surges dozens of meters high, shattering one day after another, succumbing to the reef and the three moons. One moon is bright, one moon is dark. These are the moons spoken of throughout time, hung in the sky. The remaining moon comes from the intervals betwixt the waves and the peaks of every crest. The moonlight comes from the title he once believed in. Oh, is this the boss for this... for this event? Oh goodness, there's more. Okay, nope, we're just gonna end things here for today. I'd like to thank everyone, well, everyone that's been here over time that's come to watch. That's been a bit into my experience with Sultifera Navis, the current event, and a bit of what I've pretty much done since I've returned last week. I was hoping to go through a bit of integrated strategies, but I've completely forgotten like how long some of these scenes take. Although I'll probably go stream the rest of the events later on, and then I'll just catch up using some Originight primes later on, because I don't mind using those for farming and stuff. Anyways, thank you all for watching, and everyone that'll be watching in the future, and I'd love to be streaming this again, because this was actually quite fun, actually, narrating all the dialogue. So yeah, until next time, the next time I'll be streaming is tomorrow, which will be, for... yeah, Xenoblade 3, I think I'll go back to that as well. Just have a bit of a catch-up with that. So yeah, I shall see you guys next time. I'll probably stream more Arknights on Saturday as well. So yeah, see you guys next time. Take care.